And we're live. Chatterbox 48. Wokeahontas needs that sanctuary city. I think that's what I called it.
Nice.
Maybe just that sanctuary.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it doesn't get any bigger. Okay. I was trying to double check because I'm like, it's been a while since I did it. I just didn't launch the window this time, so hopefully it didn't end up with people sitting in the chat waiting.
Yeah, I didn't see any kind of notification previous this time, so
yeah, that's what I'm aiming for.
You know.
Okay, let's see if we're actually live because I'm not seeing our stream up. Oh, here we go. We are live. Good.
Yeah, I was gonna say I got it on mine.
Yep, Wokeahontas needs that sanctuary city. I like that. I figured that was appropriate.
Yeah.
So that was like, I think that's the biggest story in my area. I don't know if it is in yours, but fucking that dude just straight up killed that chick and just walked.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's fucking insane, dude. It's fucking crazy.
What was interesting was Matt. I was watching Beauty and the Beta. I'm sure you were too, right?
A little bit. I was fucking cleaning the shit out of my bathroom here. It's fucking killing me, but I was kind of listening to it.
Oh yeah. Well, one of the things was, so the guy didn't shoot her directly. He shot the gun, and the gun ricocheted and killed her.
Right.
I would be extremely curious to know. Oh, fucking my brain. If it was to the left or the right, that the 15 feet difference between where it ricocheted and when it hit her, or if it was between him and her, like it hit the ground and then just bounced and kept going. Is it would make a big difference in where he was aiming.
Right.
Even then, like, you know, first of all, guns don't just go off. That's not how it works. It takes a couple pounds of pressure to pull the trigger. So, like, that whole, like, the gun was in my hand and it just went off thing is never true.
Yeah.
When you're cleaning, that's different. Things are different because you've got all this stuff exposed. It's easier to accidentally trigger the thing off with different things. Like, you're not pulling the trigger when the gun goes off when you're cleaning it. It's different stuff. You might be hitting the inner workings of the gun. Right. So, and it takes less force to cause those to go off. Oh, hey, William in the chat. What's up, man?
Yeah, hola.
So that just complete nonsense. That is not really possible.
Yeah.
That was the one thing I saw when they were talking about it that they didn't really cover. So I'm like, no, that's because even like I think a hair trigger is like usually about 1.5 pounds to 2 pounds of force to pull.
Yeah, it's not like just brushing up against it lightly is gonna fucking set it off.
Well, I think the standard is between 3 and 4 pounds or something like that. It takes some force. It's not like super hard, but it does take. You really got to mean it when you're pulling it.
Right.
And it's weird that didn't get blown apart in court because any prosecutor is going to know that's common knowledge to any prosecutor who's done more than like 2 cases. I'm sure.
Yeah. And it may have just been a fucking jury full of fucking San Franciscans that just.
With the voir dire process, the thing I'm wondering is, did the prosecutor intentionally blow the case?
Yeah.
It sounds like it was a pretty open and shut case. Dude gets caught with a smoking gun, like literally a smoking gun. Admits to having shot, and he's a felon, so he shouldn't even have picked up the gun in the first place. He had no business having a gun, period. It's a stolen gun from a police officer, from a BLM officer. So it's quality and it's kept in good condition. So I mean, it's not like probably not a hair trigger gun. It usually don't have that in the force.
Yeah. Well, the dude was illegal, right? Like he had been busted like at least
and he was illegally in the country.
Yeah, he had fucking been deported like 5 times, dude.
And here's the part that really pisses me off is after they threw the fucking case, because there's no way you lose that case unless you intend to.
Right.
Because the voir dire process, he had to have let them pick like the worst jurors on the planet. He had to proceed to provide zero evidence to prove that there was a crime because it was definitely manslaughter. Like, yeah, obviously it's not murder too. He didn't kill somebody in the middle of after like a fight. It's generally murder too. It's like you're fighting with somebody and you accidentally kill them, or like you've already assaulted somebody, or you're committing a crime like robbery or something with a gun and it goes off and you kill the guy because you pulled the fucking trigger. But you didn't plan it out in advance, like
right. It wasn't premeditated murder. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's not from Matt. Never mind. Fuck you, phone. Sorry about that. Just figured if Matt was texting me, I better check it real quick. But yeah, but it should have been manslaughter, which is essentially murder 3. It really should have been manslaughter. He should have gotten 5 to 10 because it's clearly a case where he should have known what he did could have led to somebody dying.
Yeah, and the fact that apparently they wanted the city to hold him.
I just asked the city to hold him so that they could deport him, and the city fucking let him go intentionally beforehand.
Yeah,
that was completely unacceptable. I think they need to start arresting the people.
Yeah.
The city officials and the police officers who are just blatantly ignoring federal law. There's a reason that borders and immigration are completely under the federal control. They're not. The state has absolutely no say in it, other than through their senators and representatives. It's completely federal, and the city of San Francisco clearly has no fucking business ignoring it. And frankly, I think that would make a big difference if they said, we're going to arrest everybody complicit in sanctuary cities who's an elected official, and we're going to charge you with 1 count of aiding and abetting for every illegal immigrant found in your city.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind it either, man.
That'd be what it takes.
Yeah. But apparently it's going to have to get fucking worse before shit like that starts happening.
That would be a huge fucking fiasco. And that would be it's sort of like the kind of thing that they want. Then they could cry that it's like a fascist move, despite the fact that it's literally just federal government enforcing federal laws.
Yeah.
And it would be a big states versus the federal government thing. And I'm sure a lot of states would back California just as a general rule of thumb that they don't want the feds coming in and arresting elected officials because, in that respect, it's a banana republic. Elected officials clearly don't have to submit to the law in this country.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking nuts, man.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. I want to see.
And an actual citizen got fucking killed by a fucking illegal immigrant, and they fucking want to let the guy go.
Had the laws been enforced, would never have been there.
Yeah.
So, she would have been alive had it not been a sanctuary city. And he even said he was only there because it was a sanctuary city and he felt safer.
Yeah. Yep. It's pretty fucking nuts, man.
Normally I'm not happy that we have all these illegal immigrants, but normally I'm not just I want to fucking go out and shoot somebody. I want to fucking round up the posse and find this dude and just fucking hang him from a tree.
Yeah, no shit, man.
Which is what BLM wants to fucking hear all the white people say, I'm sure.
Yeah, but that is crazy, man. It really is to the point that, at least in San Francisco and these sanctuary cities, these illegal immigrants apparently have protected status.
It just blows my mind. Yeah, literally, it was a case where they ignored the rights and the tragedy that occurred to an actual United States citizen in favor of their fucking bullshit policy.
Yeah. Yeah, it's sickening, man.
The only thing is, the only reason they keep getting away with it is because fucking Republicans don't go out and burn trash cans or trash cans. My apologies.
Yeah, it's fucking sick, dude. Ugh.
But what they got to understand, and they keep forgetting, is sooner or later Republicans just take their guns and go shoot politicians.
Yeah.
So it's you can only push around. Or eventually Republicans are like, well, we're just gonna fucking get rid of you. You're completely against us. We're not gonna let you get us in a war of attrition. Eventually we're gonna step up and be like, all right, you're done.
Yeah.
It's like that case in the when the government just tried to take grazing land away. And it's like they were like, all right, well, we're gonna take and hold this building until we get national attention.
Right.
They didn't hurt anybody. They just went and took their guns and decided that was their building for a while so they could get the coverage they wanted.
Right.
Unfortunately, it ended with, I think, a few people dying, and they didn't get the right outcome in their case, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man! Oh, here's the other one that kind of blows my mind. This is kind of like a weird one. I don't remember any president doing what Obama is doing right now.
Just talking shit.
He's literally going around and talking with like business and business leaders and politicians in other countries, basically going in and destroying their confidence in us. Like here, he said, I grant you that at the moment we have a temporary absence of American leadership on the issue. It's like, who the fuck are you? You're done. You're not the president anymore. I don't. Bush didn't do this. Clinton didn't do this. Reagan didn't do this.
No, they're dedicated. They're fucking still dedicated to their agenda, dude.
Yeah, Bush Jr. didn't do this. Clinton didn't do this. This is completely unacceptable. Like, I honestly, this is, I don't know if you've heard any of the buzz on Twitter about Logan's Law, but this is a blatant violation of Logan's Law, of Logan's Act, I should say, which is that a private citizen may not go around and essentially, fuck with our foreign affairs.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy, dude.
So, I just thought that was interesting because it was like, that's so bizarre that it's going on, because we never really had a president, once they were done being president, who felt like they had the right or even considered it appropriate to go around and fucking undermine the current president. If you don't, I mean, the loser keeps doing it too. That's what gets me is Hillary Clinton, usually the person who loses the election, just quietly fades away and just stays out of politics for a little while. It's just a sort of a courtesy thing.
Yeah, but those two are just too. I mean, there's a lot of narcissism and fucking crazy shit in politics, but those two are kind of like fucking way beyond that shit. Whatever their fucking issues are, they fucking can't stop, dude.
It's so bizarre. I don't know. I don't understand it. To me, it blows my mind. And then here's some good news. I thought this was really good. Like, I didn't know this had happened. They took chocolate milk out of school lunches.
Oh, wow. Jesus.
So one of the things Trump's administration is doing is relaxing the strict school lunch rules. So they'll be allowed to have some chocolate milk and probably occasionally some pizza. Yeah. And they're saying it won't really affect the nutritional standard. Anybody who's ever eaten a school lunch will tell you that I don't think it's possible to get worse.
Right.
Oh, man.
I remember it being okay when I was a kid. It actually wasn't bad. But, from what my son's telling me, but from what my son's telling me, it is fucking awful now, dude.
Well, the Obamas apparently made a whole bunch of really strict rules. It looks like they cut sodium. Chocolate milk was cut out. Here's the takeaway, I think. Schools need flexibility in menu planning so that they can serve nutritious and appealing meals.
Right.
The kids aren't eating the food, and it's ending up with the trash. They aren't getting any nutrition. That's one of the things that they're saying.
Right.
But like I remember we used to look forward to like pizza day, and we would look forward to like sometimes you get like chicken fingers and stuff like that. I mean, it wasn't normally you would get something a little more healthy, but
yeah, like even the hot dogs would always taste like really good. Like I don't know if they steamed them or what the hell they did, but like even the hot dogs I remember used to be really good.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
But yeah, now it's disgusting fucking shit, dude.
I know, it's unfortunate. It's funny. Go ahead.
My son basically doesn't eat, dude, until he gets home. Like,
is it that bad?
Yeah, like he won't eat lunch. He never eats lunch.
He's a teenager, right?
Yeah.
See, that's pretty serious. If you get teenagers who are like, nah, I'll wait till I get home to eat, that's pretty fucking crazy.
Yeah. Yep, it's pretty awful, man. And then again, it's the same fucking district I went to school in when I was a kid. You know, it's just gotten fucking horrible.
Crackhead granny. Oh, sorry, William, you got me. For a minute, I was like, seriously, what fucking popped up on my computer? If you look at him in the chat, he says, we can see your tabs. What's crackhead granny cum dumpsters?
Oh.
I know I didn't open that, so I had to look. I'm like, what fucking pop-up happened? Like,
yeah, sure. Come on. What are you experiencing shame all of a sudden, Stabby? It doesn't sound like you.
Let's be fair. Some of the news stories I bring are not even remotely close to like even close to acceptable like standards. Like, these are some really fucking sketchy websites.
God damn, dude.
Shit pops up occasionally. I've never had porn pop up, but I've had other like stuff pop up. So I was like, go crap.
Crackhead granny cum dumpsters. Holy shit. That is fucking wow.
Oh, maybe if it was like
an interesting combination.
I don't know about granny ones, but MILF I'd be down with. Although then again, in porn, isn't granny like 40?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, if they say mature, like it can be anywhere from like 40 to like fucking disgusting.
Like Walker porn.
Yeah, it'll usually say mature, and it'll be an older woman.
She just bends a little further over the walker, and then the guy comes up and bangs her from behind.
Yeah, I can't watch that shit, dude.
I don't know if
fucking milk shit.
I'm not watching that either.
Yeah, I can dig the MILF shit. That's when I can get porn.
Well, that's like my age. That's not, to me, that's not like weird and creepy older women. That's somebody I would date.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm sure that's why. That's why I do. I watch a lot of fucking MILF shit. I like a lot of stepmom shit for some reason.
Yeah, well, that's apparently really popular. It's like the stepmom, stepdaughter, stepdad, stepson.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, dude. But because again, obviously my parents were married my entire life, and until my dad died. So I'm not. There's no stepmom in my life, but for some reason
it's a naughty thing. I think like it's taboo kind of thing.
Yeah, it must be.
It's like one of the things I've seen a couple times that I thought was bizarre, not really like my thing, but if it's somebody saying, hey, whatever, man, it's this weird like first like point of view, and it's like a weird like 5-minute date before the banging. So like basically it'll be like you don't see the guy really for like the first like 5-10 minutes. It's just you as if you were the camera was your eyes.
Oh, gotcha.
For a walk on the beach or something like of that nature. Like a hike or a walk on the beach, or at like a outside patio for like what do you call those? Cafe or something.
Right.
And it's just her being like flirtatious towards the camera, but there's no real dialogue from your end. But it's sort of like you can put whatever. I guess you could put whatever you want there. There's blank spots where you could pretend you're in it, I guess. I don't know. It seems weird to me.
Well, it's probably a variation of what you were talking about with like Twilight and other movies where they make the female characters.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, and then eventually they go back to wherever, like a house, and just do like a standard point of view, first person point of view porn, where it's like you're the person kind of thing.
Right. Yeah, that's weird.
I thought it was really weird. Like I was just like, that seems like a lot of the stuff you kind of get to avoid by going to porn and just jacking off. You don't have to.
Yeah, I don't need a whole lot of setup, dude. I really don't. Although watching a little seduction action is kind of fun too sometimes, but even that's not necessary. It's definitely not something the dude requires.
It's not for me, but some dude out there gets off on it. Good for you, man.
Yeah, yep. Obviously, enough dudes out there get off on it to warrant filming that shit.
Hey, it's all good, man. Whatever floats their boat, I guess.
Yeah, whatever gets you off, man.
Oh, let's see. I have some other funny stuff here. Did we go over the YouTuber who uses Minecraft to prey on like the YouTubers that go after kids?
I think we did. I think we
Yeah,
talked about it
I
last
thought we
time.
did too. I must have forgotten to delete that. I have just like a list of bookmarked things on my my thing where I'm like,
All right.
oh, this might be interesting to fucking see.
Mhm.
Let's see. Oh, a follow up. That's right. I did a follow up thing. There's something that was bugging me because I knew we had a follow up story on something
Right.
we shared. So the dude who said that any woman who's walking down the street and revealing clothing should be raped, like the Egyptian dude,
Mhm.
he was jailed for that.
Oh wow.
So and it's he's an Egyptian lawyer. He even said his own daughter should be raped if she dressed like that.
Mhm.
So it's actually in Egypt. They put him in jail and fined him 20,000 pounds, 840 pounds, to probably somewhere around $1,500 US.
Right.
The fine. I don't know that I agree with that because I'm a big free speech advocate. No matter how disturbing the speech is, you should be able to say it.
Mhm. Right. Yeah. I mean, what did that qualify as, like incitement? Because it seems like that was
Oh yeah, no, you're right.
still.
You're right because he did say I think it's everybody's duty to do so. It really, I think you're right. That does qualify as incitement.
Yeah. Well, yeah, a little. Yeah, but well, no, yeah, no, that's pretty much.
So it was a national duty. Said they were inviting men to harass him. I think it's borderline, but considering the circumstances, it's none of my business. It's in Egypt. I don't get to tell them how to run their country.
Right. Right.
So I think take the win. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a fucking
I thought
weird
that was
attitude to
interesting.
have, dude. Although I guess not. Not if you're fucking. It's kind of normal.
If you're Egyptian,
Yeah, well, Muslim, I guess.
yeah.
I
Well, it's
assume the guy's
surprising
Muslim.
because
Muslim. Judging by the name, I would say he's got to be Muslim.
oh yeah. Well, it's surprising because generally in Muslim countries they don't have a problem with that.
Yeah, yeah. Surprised he got any kind of fucking flack at all.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's why I was following up. I was like, that's actually kind of a good sign. But when Egypt isn't like the most crazy Muslim country, but it is at least
It's definitely influenced
yeah,
pretty heavily. But yeah, you're right. It's a little still not completely gone.
yeah. And then what is it? Oh, Walmart stopped carrying Antifa gear.
Wow, that's crazy. I didn't realize they were carrying it.
Well, apparently they also banned things like Confederate flags and anything that's even remotely questionable. So,
Mm. Yeah, that's crazy.
oh, William Stench ever, the internet is great. No more fast forwarding VHS tapes to get to good spots. That's true.
Yeah, fucking A. Just the fucking smartphones, dude, make it a lot easier to masturbate. You don't have
Oh,
to. You're not trying to sneak a laptop into your fucking bathroom. Just wherever you're at, dude.
I
You
never
got a
thought of that.
smartphone.
That's actually a really good idea. I mean, my bedroom has a lock on the door, so I don't really have to worry about sneaking anything. But
Yeah, no, I do pretty much all my masturbation in the bathroom, dude.
well, you don't know, no muss, no fuss.
Right. Yeah, well, it's for me, it's more of a convenience thing. You don't have to worry about fucking smuggling out fucking tissues full of jizz. You just flush it right there.
That's true. That is a valid point. I distinctly
Yeah.
remember when I was a kid. Uh, give me a sec here. Sorry if I can build up in the back of my throat there. Uh, watching, what was it? Total Recall, and then getting to the end of the tape, right? Like the end of the movie on the tape. And these old VHS tapes, for anybody that doesn't know, they used to be able to put 2 or 3, good sized movies on each tape.
Yeah, you ran it at a different speed, so you
Yeah,
could
so
fit a bunch on.
it wasn't uncommon to have like a videotape where you had 2 or 3 movies on it. Well, this one had 2 movies on it, and Total Recall was the second one. And just after Total Recall ended, finally the credits run. Suddenly, it's this like porn of like people snow skiing and shit, and it was like full on like X-rated porn.
Yeah. Yeah, some of the porn back then was fucking, like pretty detailed.
It was some hairy chicks and hairy dudes, and
right.
you were getting a gynecological view of everything.
Right.
And as a teenager, I was like, "This is the best day of my life." I did not know we had this.
Damn. Yeah. Yeah. No, I used to. We had one of the big giant satellite dishes, that they used to have back in the day, and
Oh yeah.
by fucking messing with it and getting it caught like slightly between satellites, you could get kind of a grainy image of shit of channels that were blocked or whatever. So I would do that to the fucking porn ones. Sometimes you could get it in pretty clear, but yeah, I would do that to fucking catch some porn and shit.
That's a good way to go.
Yeah, very inventive when it came to masturbating, dude.
Well, and I think everybody found like porn in the woods, right?
Right. Some random magazine somewhere. Yeah.
I know I had a buddy of mine who sold Penthouse. It's like Playboy was nice. Like you could find Playboys, and like I think my parents even were fine if I wanted to get them, I could have gotten Playboys through them, which is always awkward when you're a teenager.
Right.
Yes, I'd like that masturbation material from you, Mom.
Right. Yeah. I just read the articles, Mom. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, but because nobody believes that. But the Penthouse is like that's the next level shit.
Right. Our fucking Hustler. Hustler is fucking hardcore, dude. Fuck yeah.
That was crazy as shit. The first time I saw those, I was just like, God damn. That is a woman covered in semen. What the fuck happened?
Yeah, it was tough. These kids don't know how fucking tough or how great they have it nowadays, man.
Oh yeah.
Porn was hard to come by, dude.
Anything you want, you can find. I mean, if you want to watch a dog banging like some lady or some dude, you can watch that weird shit.
Yeah. Anything you can imagine, dude, it's fucking out there. Yeah. Although they're saying that it could be causing a real issue with people not wanting to, dudes mostly, not really being in relationships and shit because they're just, so much porn available.
I think that's porn, man.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's, like at this point, like if you even approach a woman, you stand a chance of going to jail.
Yeah.
Like let's be real. Like if you hit on the wrong girl, you might get fucking arrested at this point.
Yeah, this is true.
And especially for younger kids, like you go to a party and you get wasted and you end up banging some chick, and then 2 months later you're up on rape charges.
Yeah. Even though both of you were fucking drunk and both of you consented at the time, like, I was drunk, I totally regret it. So the guy raped me. Yeah, it's a fucking minefield, dude.
Or even
you're fucking navigating a minefield nowadays.
Or even like you might be dating a girl and you guys break up, and then 2 weeks later she's decided that it was rape because now she's mad you broke up with her.
Yeah, exactly.
It's happening constantly.
Mm-hmm.
William Stenshove should rename this stream Masturbatory Tips, a tutorial. Well, if we go to masturbatory tips, get lube. Lube is awesome for jacking off. I mean, it's great for sex too, but if you're going to jack off, lube is amazing. It's like and you can always have something to come into, like tissues and cloth, whatever it is you're getting rid of.
Yeah, but that's day one stuff, dude.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, he said those tips in the tutorial. I figured we might as well give a generic tip.
Make sure you cover the basics. Yeah.
Don't use like fucking peanut butter or some weird shit. Nothing with sugar in it. If you're desperately looking for some sort of lubricant to use, don't do anything with sugar. You can end up with what is it? A fucking what do they call that?
Yeah, I don't know where you're going. I don't know where you're going with that, dude.
Infection. Urinary tract infection.
Oh, okay.
If sugar gets down in there, you can get a UDI. I've had to have weird conversations where I work. So,
all right. Okay, I was wondering. I was like, is this personal experience or?
I've had to go over like the birds and the bees. I've had to explain how to use birth control. I've had to talk to people about masturbating and like wearing clothes when they go to sleep. And I've had to talk to people about wearing adult diapers. I mean, and that was just in like 6 months of working day shift. Now you know why I worked the sleep overnight.
God damn, dude.
I have for like 12 years.
Oh man.
So I'll tell you, it doesn't bother me if I'm walking down the hall and I'm like, there's some dude running down there butt ass naked. God damn it.
Jesus,
like, it's not, I don't want to see it, but it's not going to fucking scar me or nothing. I just pass that on and somebody else has to have the long, awkward conversation about why you can't be naked.
Right.
In the house. And then, of course, at least the house I work in now is all guys, so that's a big plus. But yeah, there was one time, oh god, like you watch a Western, there's always like he's not the sidekick or the hero, he's just sort of like the comic relief old guy.
Right.
And he's got the big bushy beard and the big fluffy hair, and he's like, oh, he's, kind of a silly old guy.
Right.
A dude that looks like that, but just butt naked, holding his like hands over his chunks, like doing this weird penguin hop run to the bathroom.
Damn, dude.
I'm like, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Oh, that was funny. That was a funny conversation because the next day I was like, you got to wear pajamas here. You can't, at least a pair of shorts.
Right, at least some boxers or something.
Well, at that house, we had girls that lived in that house too. It was co-ed. There was men and women.
Right. Wow.
And so I was like, look, man, none of the ladies here want to see that coming out of their room at night. That's not cool.
Right.
You got to
nobody wants to see
shorts
fucking
and a t-shirt.
Yeah. Nobody wants to see fucking Santa Claus streak into the fucking bathroom.
Fucking hobo Jim on his way to the fucking barrel fire with no clothes on. Just,
damn, dude.
Oh man, that dude also had the craziest, most advanced stage of athlete's foot I've ever seen in my life.
Really?
It had worn grooves.
Yeah.
Like his big toe had turned like a weird yellowy greenish color. And it had worn grooves all up and down. And I was like, is that gangrene? Like, because first time I saw it, I told my boss, I'm like, that looks like fucking gangrene, right? Like, he's going to have that amputated. But like, no, it's just really bad athlete's foot.
Yeesh. How does it get that bad? The guy just doesn't fucking...
You don't treat it, you're homeless, and your feet are always wet.
Yeah, I guess.
I'm guessing. I don't know,
but
man.
That's athlete's foot's so goddamn uncomfortable, man. Like, even at the beginning stages, like, fuck, I've had athlete's feet a few times, man. It's fucking vicious. I don't know, man.
In my house, I have to put athlete's spray on my feet every day to not get it.
Wow.
Because my brother and my dad keep getting it and never take care of it. And so,
all right.
I mean, it's either even if I wear sandals in the shower, I'm still...
Yeah, I never knew about that because I guess I usually had, for the most part, used my house bathroom. But when I was at the sober living house, they told like one of the dudes was like, dude, when you have athlete's foot, you're supposed to wear sandals in the shower so you don't spread it to everybody.
If you're in a communal shower situation, you should always wear sandals just to not get it.
Yeah.
But it's easier for me just to spray my feet like once a day with the athlete's foot spray.
Right.
It's preventative, it's because there's just no way.
Yeah.
On my own, I'll bleach out the shower and the bathroom on a regular basis. So
right. Yeah, no, that's I've had that where my feet are fucking cracking and bleeding and shit from fucking athlete's foot. Yeah. It takes fucking forever too. Although, you know what? Like,
you're talking 3 or 4 weeks at least.
You know what works actually really well? Surprisingly, from the homeopathic / herbal thing is tea tree oil. Tea tree oil works really well, dude. Yeah.
I will have to give that a shot because that sounds like a great idea.
Yeah. Give it a shot, man. Because some of that stuff does actually work pretty well as far as like antifungal type shit.
Yeah. Well, it's like you can use vinegar to like disinfect and clean and stuff, like just plain white vinegar.
Yeah. You just constantly put on the tea tree oil and it just clears up pretty goddamn fast, dude.
Yeah, before they knew about Nature's Miracle, which I don't know if you've ever heard of Nature's Miracle, but it's like a natural enzyme spray that you use if you have like a cat or a dog. And when you clean up whatever mess they left on the carpet, you spray your Nature's Miracle down, and you'll never know it was there. The smell is gone, the stain is gone. It looks like brand new the next day.
Yeah. No, I think it's something similar. My mom gets some shit called Nature Fresh. I think it's probably the same thing.
But before they knew about that where I worked, we'd occasionally have clients that would wet the bed. So they'd use vinegar to wash with that, and that usually took the smell out pretty good. Peed on sheets.
But yeah, like I said, get us some of the tea tree oil next time you got the athlete's foot, man. It clears it up pretty goddamn fast.
I might get that and just give it a shot, see if it works as good as the daily spray, because I bet you it's cheaper.
Maybe not. I don't know. I can't remember how much the tea tree oil stuff runs, but it's not that cheap.
Well, I don't know. I mean, we'll see. Even if it's
actually in California, I'm sure you can probably find someplace that sells
in California. I don't know that there's stores that don't carry it.
Right. Yeah. See, here you got to go to like a fucking herbal specialist shop or whatever,
like an apothecary kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, there's a word I never thought I'd use in the podcast.
Right. Yeah.
God damn it! I've been watching too much fucking Townsend's again. The 18th century cooking. Oh
yeah, did you see they did a fucking thing on pemmican? We were talking about pemmican like a week or two ago.
Oh yeah, no, I've seen that a couple of times actually. They that's a really good set of episodes. They go over that. The one I also want to try is the what do you call it? Where you take the kidney fat and render it down. Its name is tallow is one word for it. Suet.
Oh, okay, I gotcha.
Because I bet you that makes some killer fucking like biscuits and pie crust and shit.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's also called beef tallow, but like, you take either what is it like beef or lamb? I think they said. Kidney fat, you render it down and then you let it cool down, and it forms like a soapy kind of fat. It's like a different texture altogether than regular fat.
Gotcha.
And I'm like thinking, man, I bet you in like a pie crust or like a biscuit recipe, that shit is the fucking bomb.
Yeah.
But it's supposed to be healthier.
Nice.
I mean, not that any fat is super, super healthy, but healthier than like lard or butter.
Yeah, I gotcha. Just not quite as fattening and all that shit. Yeah. Dude, I made these thick ass pork chops earlier. I get tired of making the same shit over and over for my son. Actually, pork chops is one of the things I'd never made for him that he kind of likes or thought he remembered liking. And I bought like the thick ass, what is it, like center cut, like thick, like a fucking, I didn't measure it, but like.
Instead of being that weird shape, they're kind of oval, but they're like about 1.5 inches thick or so.
Yeah, they're really thick, dude.
Yeah, they're almost like, essentially they're like pork loin cut into pork chops.
Yeah, really thick cut.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Those are good.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Although it was the first time I ever made it, so I didn't know what to put on there. And my son's a little weird about almost everything as far as cooking. So like all I put on it was some seasoned salt, and I don't think I put enough because again, anytime I'm cooking for him, I have to be really careful. Like he doesn't like pepper. He doesn't like. Again, there's a fucking whole list of shit he doesn't fucking like. So all I could put on it really was some seasoned salt.
Yeah, my sister's like that. My baby sister there's so many things she won't eat.
Yeah, he's got like 5 things, So I was like, all right, well, let me try this. Because they're big, man. They're fucking each piece, like it's 2 pieces, but each piece was like well over a fucking pound.
Yeah, they're big fucking pork chops.
Yeah, I thought it was really good though.
Oh yeah, no, I'm
first time I made it, but because I'm terrified. Pork and chicken, I'm terrified of undercooking. So I think I overcooked it a little.
I don't cook those as like pork chops very often. I'll usually throw 2 or 3 of them in the crock pot with like some onion and like mushrooms and maybe some celery and some carrot, and then like a can of cream of mushroom soup. And then maybe like a teaspoon or two of water. You really don't need much to get that started, but and then just cook it like that and serve it over like rice or pasta.
Yeah, almost like a thick stew then, or
kind of comes out like that, yeah. Oh, and a packet of French onion soup, but I don't know. You know, if you're trying to figure out what your kid will eat, that might not be high on the list.
Right. Yeah, that'd be a tough sell. Any of that shit, dude.
It's like my sister will eat chicken strips, but there's only one brand and only one kind of that brand that she'll eat. Like, so, you got like chicken nuggets, all these different kinds. There's just one type of chicken strip she'll eat, and that's it.
Yeah. Hey, no, my son's not quite that bad. Although I'll buy the fish sticks. I'll buy the cheap fucking Kroger brand, and he fucking loves those. But I'll buy like the more expensive, like name brand shit, and he doesn't like them, dude.
Not a chance. Well, that's funny. I wonder if it's like the real fish in one, and it's probably like fish-like substance in the other.
Yeah, I think it basically says like minced fish. That's all it is. So it is fish parts at least.
Fucking what is it? There's this. I was watching this thing they do in Japan where they take and it's like a fish, and they pound it into a paste, and they can work with it almost like a dough. And so they'll color it in different colors and form it and shape it in different ways and then steam it. And so they make like these weird sort of like decorative fish food items out of this weird fish paste. It's like a real common thing that they do over there, apparently.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I never heard of
that. Fancy, like super, super fancy hot dogs, but with fish. But like with bright pinks and blues, it looks like fucking like a pencil eraser fucking sushi or something like that. It was
yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, although I had I think this was something that was Japanese or something where you get like an ice cream and then they have like this shit wrapped around it that's almost like a thick marshmallow. Like that's what it tastes like.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. You're talking about mochi.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, my mom loves that stuff. She has it all the time. It's pretty good. I've had it a few times.
Yeah, I like it, man.
It's like a rice gum paste.
Yeah, but it tastes like marshmallow to me. Like it.
No, I'm just saying that's what it is. It's like
gotcha.
It's sweetened rice gum paste kind of thing.
Yeah, but it's weird because again, the consistency is nowhere near marshmallow, but it tastes like marshmallow.
Yeah, I've had that kind of that same stuff in other like Japanese kind of desserts. Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, just a little ball of ice cream wrapped in that shit. It's fucking really fantastic.
Well, and what's interesting is with mochi, it's not just with ice cream. Like they'll also have it with all sorts of different kind of like sweets. So you can like, I don't think you'll find them here, but like there you might find it with like caramel or chocolate or fruit or something in the middle. All sorts of weird ways to do it.
Yeah. No, it sounds good, man. Yeah, like I said, that tastes good just with ice cream. So anything else would be fantastic too.
Oh yeah. When they also make
dip it into like chocolate or caramel, like you know what I mean, like even not even just in the middle, just like have like a chocolate sauce to dip that shit in.
That's I think a little too American, but it sounds fucking awesome. Like I don't think you'd ever find it in a Japanese restaurant. But
that's way too sweet.
It'd be something worth trying.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's how it is here. Everything we have is too sugary, too sweet. So that'd be kind of perfect.
I got like halfway through a piece of pie tonight that was just. I don't know if you've ever had Sherry's pies.
Sherry's? I don't think so.
H-A-R-I. Yeah, it's a place that sells pies here, and it was like a cookies and cream one, and I just was like feeling sick after like halfway through it. It was too much goddamn sugar.
Yeah, sometimes I'll get ones like that, or some dessert, or you have to. You either just can't get through it, or you need to drink like a shitload of milk with every bite.
Oh, I had to use water.
Yeah,
I had to literally like drink water to get the taste out of my mouth because it was just too sweet.
Yeah, I think I did that with I think I had a pie that was like a Reese's peanut butter cup pie. That was incredibly sweet.
See, and the reason I picked the cookies and cream is because they had one that was like a peanut butter chocolate silk thing that looked like it was way too much, and a s'mores one that had like a mountain of marshmallows and chocolate and graham cracker bits in the middle, and I'm just like, no fucking way am I.
Yeah. See, those can be all right, but you literally, or for me, even because I eat incredibly sweet shit. Like even for me, I'm like, that's too much. So I have to like take the bite, put some milk in there to kind of tone it down, kind of fucking swirl it around in my mouth, dude. Yeah, it's weird.
Oh yeah. Well, it's not that I don't like the sweet things. Like it tasted fine. It just started to make me feel physically ill.
Yeah, no, it can be too much, man. Yeah, but I noticed it like when I would be on vacation in Mexico or something, getting like the Frosted Flakes from Mexico. I'm like, what the fuck? Is there even sugar on this? Like, there's a major difference between the fucking amount of sugar that we put on shit and that other places do.
Mexican Coke and Mexican 7-Up. So fucking good.
Oh yeah, I think you were telling me they actually use
real cane sugar.
Yeah.
Mexico doesn't allow corn syrup, at least not in sodas. And then you get the Mexican 7-Ups. The Mexican 7-Ups are the ones I really like. They're so fucking good. They don't taste anything like the 7-Up you get here at all. It's not even close. It actually tastes like a fruit soda.
Nice.
So good.
Yeah, I'm not big on 7-Up. Well, cherry 7-Up. I like cherry 7-Up.
Yeah, I like cherry 7-Up. Yeah, I don't usually drink the regular 7-Up unless I'm sick.
Yeah, even then I usually go with Sprite or something, or ginger ale.
Oh, I like me some ginger ale. Yeah, the real dry Canada Dry stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, my dad got me this one brand that was like fucking like drinking a hard candy.
Oh, really?
It was the worst ginger ale I've ever had in my life. Schweppes, I think it was. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. I appreciated that he went out and got it for me, but I couldn't drink it. Fucking. So I did finally watch Ranthony, by the way.
Oh, right.
I did. I loved his debate with Amos Yee. And then I got through about an hour of him debating some character, some older guy who was like,
oh yeah, what's his name? Phil Elmore, I think it was.
Whatever his name was, he was fucking stupid. It was
awful, right?
Fuck.
Yeah. It was all emotional fucking bullshit, all fucking anecdotal bullshit.
How fucking stupid! Like he kept trying to make this one point, and I think on the sixth time I probably would have just fucking banned him from my show. But I kicked him out. I said, "We're done. I'm not going to fucking go over this 6 fucking times." But his same argument that he just repeated was that anybody that says they're advocates for something means they want to do it.
Oh yeah, it's the drug thing,
That's
right?
the most fucking thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah. I think everyone knows that there are people that advocate for like drugs being legal that don't do drugs and don't intend to.
And there's people that advocate for guns that don't ever intend to own a gun.
Yeah. It's it's ridiculous.
I advocated for gay marriage. I'm not going to marry a dude.
Yeah. But I was the same thing. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? I'm like, this guy he's just fucking ridiculous.
Well, he just kept going back to it. The part that really got me was the just not stopping. Like Anthony is like, all right,
he's really patient, dude.
And let's go and talk about some other stuff. And he was like, but he's like,
Ranthony is to a fault probably a lot of time. Well, in that case, certainly.
I'll have to comment on there. I'm like, dude, you get the patience of a saint. I put up with that on my channel.
He seems to be able to keep emotion and everything out of the shit and just fucking deal with shit. I don't know how he does it, but
I'm not quite as good as he is. I can come close in certain situations. Like I think I can handle more fucked up shit than a lot of people can when it comes to just debating it.
Right.
But and keeping from being like pissed off or angry.
Yeah.
But I don't think I've got as much patience as he does. Even like he puts me to shame. How patient he is with that guy. Like Phil, I would never put up with.
Yeah, it was tough just watching that, dude. It was fucking because I watched it live when they did that debate, and I'm like, this guy's a fucking idiot. Why are you still like this is pointless? You know, at this point, and I was like, why are you still doing this? This is fucking pointless. This guy's an idiot.
You know, I would have antagonized him as much as I could to call the police.
Yeah,
because I want him to have that moment of just complete fucking shame and embarrassment and indignation when the police are like, "Are you fucking stupid?"
Yeah.
Like, yeah, no, we're not going to arrest anybody. You're an idiot.
We're bordering on fucking arresting you for filing a false police report. You fucking idiot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But just like, oh, you're wanting to talk to Amos E. That means Amos E. wants to molest children, and he should be fucking thrown out of the country.
Yeah.
We should kill them all. And I'm just like, what the fuck are you talking about? And then he pulled the magic card. This is one of the things I have. It's such a pet peeve of mine that you don't have a kid, you can't understand things.
Yeah,
it's the same thing as you're not black, you can't understand. You're not a woman, you can't understand. Well, you can fucking empathize and have a pretty good idea.
Yeah.
Just because I don't have the same emotional response doesn't mean I have no fucking idea what it's like.
Yeah, I think everyone, whether you have kids or not, you have a fucking. I think almost all of us have some kind of. Like just something in us, an innate desire to protect children.
Yeah, oh, absolutely, man. If I saw somebody hitting a kid, I'd fucking lose my shit. There's no fucking way.
Yeah.
You know, I'd absolutely have to stop them. I don't think I can physically prevent myself from doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
you don't have to.
I'm not talking like a spanking though. I'm talking like somebody just hauling off and like punching a kid in the face or some shit.
Right. Yeah,
I don't think there's
everyone's kind of revolted. I mean, other than pedos, you know, I think all of us have, and I think this is the issue of the people that are so fucking angry about, like people like Ranthony defending his free speech rights of Amos. Is they have that visceral, like it's almost a reflex, like it's not even a reaction, like it's almost a reflex.
You know, Anthony says he gets it, but I get it too. I understand. I absolutely, man. Like that's a really fucking serious topic.
Yeah, but people are still fucking pissed off about it. Like, I mean, I was at first, absolutely. When I first started watching his stream, just talking about Amos, not even the debate with him. But I was fucking pissed, dude. Yeah. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? But by the end, because he was saying shit like, you know, you're no different than Steve Shives if you're thinking like that. And then after a while, like towards the end of it, I was kind of like, you know, it's kind of calmed down a little. And I was thinking a little more clearly. And I'm like, you know, kind of by the end, I'm like, you know what? Like, yeah, you're fucking right.
Well, you know,
but there's people that are still fucking pissed off. Yeah. And to me, it's more like virtual signaling, dude. It really is.
At a certain point, it becomes that, yeah.
Yeah, like Ranting Monkey is still going off.
It's like
call me emotional if you want, but you know, like, yeah, you're a fucking idiot, dude. And you're fucking virtue
progress stuff. Where people are like, look at how amazing I am. I'm going after Heart's Progress. It's like, yeah, you and everybody else thinks they're idiots. So I don't understand why you think that's special.
Yeah,
you're not more special because you're getting into the nitty gritty and getting troll wars with these fucking idiots. Nobody's being swayed by Heart's Progress. You're a fucking moron. You know, like,
yeah, and that's their argument. Partly is they're saying like, oh, you're giving them a platform, and I'm like, I don't know that there's that many people that are on the fence. That's kind of an issue with Ranthony.
I'm not talking about the people who are saying like, who are countering the things that Heart Progress is saying. I'm talking about the people who are getting into these weird like, we're going to dox you, you're going to dox us. We're getting like the really dramatic stuff that has nothing to do with countering ideas.
Yeah,
they're not taking Heart's Progress statements or stuff and saying, well, here's what they're saying and here's why it's wrong.
Yeah.
They're getting into these little internet wars with them over like silly
people like that, like Ranting Monkey is like, no, you shouldn't even bother to refute their ideas. You know, and I kind of responded like, why not? Like, I understand. I don't really think it's necessary either, but I don't see the harm in it. I really don't see the fucking harm in if somebody wants to refute the ideas, let them fucking do it. It's not fucking hurting.
I think it's a fair point to say it's probably not a bad idea.
Yeah, like I said, I don't think it's
on the fence.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine. Like it seems, but there might be people on the fence, so why not?
And especially with the weird fucking corners that feminism gets into, like I don't think very many people in that sort of mindset are going to be even then. I don't think they're going to be on Amos Yee or Heart Progress side or anything like that. But I think it's not a bad idea to put some refutation out there so that hopefully maybe some people who might be sympathetic will see that and be like, oh wait, maybe not. Like
Yeah, exactly. I don't see the harm in it, and they're like fucking freaking out. Like, no, you're fucking making it worse by even talking to the guy. Like, no, he made him look pretty foolish.
I do think it would be nice if we could find a way for there to be some level of acceptance for people that have pedophilic urges but don't act on them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
like that would be like as far as I could possibly go in that direction. Like I'm never gonna be like, I don't think child porn should ever be used. Even if what was it Destiny was saying that they should be able to use already existing child pornography to help people with pedophilia if the victims agree to it. I don't agree with that. That's no, I'm not down.
Yeah.
Cartoon, you want to do like cartoon kiddie porn and stuff where there's no actual victim, fine. I don't care because there's nobody being harmed.
Right.
But, I don't want actual child pornography given to people.
Right. Yeah,
because 20 years later, the kid who was raped is like, I guess it's okay. Like, or their family okays it because now they, they want a couple of bucks from whoever's trying to do it. Like it seems like a system that would get abused.
Yeah, it's fucking weird. Yeah,
I don't see that ending well. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and like I said, it's not. I can't imagine anybody like it has to be something you're just basically born with, or maybe not necessarily born with, but well, whatever. You don't choose it. You know what I mean? Like I can't imagine anybody.
So okay, I probably am going to get a lot of hate for this if anybody ever watches this. I think it's like homosexuality. I think you're just born interested in little kids, and I think it's a natural effect of evolution to a certain extent.
Trying to breed as soon as possible, basically.
Yeah. The people who got the females pregnant earlier than anybody else would have more offspring. So that hasn't been. We haven't had nearly enough civilization to breed that out of people yet. And you still see it, I think, in a certain respect, in like the, like 50-year-old dudes that are still going after like 19-year-old, 20-year-old girls. Like you still see kind of like a similar sort of tendency of like get them young,
right?
Try to get them pregnant, try to have kids, because there's a lot of like 50-year-old dudes who go out and like knock up a 20-year-old and have like a kind of thing, especially rich guys.
Yeah,
it's very common.
Yeah, although I think it can obviously be, or well, not obviously, but I think it can possibly be caused by environment as well. It's probably, again, like everything, it's probably a combination of things.
Maybe you were a victim and it fucked with your sexuality,
Right. Which I don't see how it couldn't fuck with your sexuality. In some way, not necessarily that way, but I think anybody that's had that happen to them, their sexuality is going to be a little weird.
I mean, there's plenty of rape victims who went gay.
Mm-hmm.
Women who were raped and started only sleeping with other women.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I'm sure and that's an adult handling that kind of situation. If you're talking about a little kid handling it, that's a whole different ball of wax.
Yeah, they're gonna have hangups, dude, of some kind, dude.
Well, and the other thing is, half the damage is society looking at them as though they're like dirty, broken, painted.
Yeah, that's weird. I don't understand that at all. Like making them feel like shit.
And like I said, I've seen families of victims where I work. Like, I've worked with people who are victims of child molestation, families who team up with the molester against the child.
Wow.
who are like, you're just making it up. You're trying to destroy the family. You should just shut your mouth. You should just, forget about it. It was in the past.
God damn, that's
and
fucking horrible.
And they'll still, that person will still be invited to like Christmas and stuff. And, if the victim wants to go to Christmas with the rest of their family, they got to face the person who fucking raped them when they were, 7 years old.
Yeah, that's fucking, wow. That's awful.
It's pretty fucking terrible. So, if anybody thinks I'm pro pedo, I'll punch them in the fucking mouth because they don't have a fucking clue.
Yeah.
The kind of shit I've seen and dealt with and help people work through. So it's like, don't fucking bring that shit to my door because I'm talking about like, oh, they should get sex dolls or something. Because my thing is, man, anything you can do that doesn't harm somebody, that can keep a kid from getting fucked, I'm okay with.
Yeah.
The result.
Yeah, just ignoring the shit and pretending it doesn't exist.
Because I've seen the results, man. That's why I'm willing to say anything, as long as it doesn't harm somebody, whatever it takes to keep kids from getting fucked, I am completely okay with it.
Yeah.
No matter how gross or unsavory, because it will protect a kid.
Yeah. And again, I mean, it's a fucking. I've never taken official polls, but I would say it's well over half of the people that I fucking talk to, or at least close to half of the people that I meet in recovery have some kind of fucking molestation in their background.
Yeah. It messes with people for a long fucking time in a lot of different really nasty ways.
Yeah, and unless they take the time, a lot of fucking time, to fucking process it and deal with it, it's going to fuck them up.
Well, and then, like, some of it is, to a certain respect, I'm sure a lot of people had some enjoyment out of it. It felt good. It was somebody who was probably close to them and they felt loved.
Yeah.
And how do you...
So it's a lot of confliction, a lot of fucking...
how do you come to terms with that? And while still recognizing that it was wrong and it made you feel gross and dirty. You had these conflicting emotions going on at the same time.
Yeah, a lot of fucking issues, man.
It's like there's a lot of women who come when they're raped. That's a real fucking weird thing to have to fucking deal with.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
I'm getting a little more into the nitty gritty than I usually do, but I'm saying, like, there's some real fucking weird emotions going on.
Yeah, that's got to fuck with your head, man.
Sorting through that is, I can't even imagine. Like, I can try to
years of therapy, I would imagine.
I just, I'm a big dude, man. There's not a lot of times in my life when I've been that helpless. Right. I got beat up a lot when I was a kid, but that's not really the same thing. Everybody gets fights.
Yeah, getting beat up and getting raped is not even the fucking same ballpark.
Exactly.
I would take countless fucking beatings to not ever get raped, dude.
Exactly.
I was pointing that out actually in the chat of that, and then fucking there's some guy who was like, "How do you know? How the fuck?" Like one of the pedos, or in the chat during Ranthony and Amos's debate. Because some of them I thought they're kidding, but the ones that are getting genuinely pissed off when I say something like that, like, holy shit, that guy isn't fucking around. He's not trolling. That guy's a really fucking pedo, dude.
There are people who genuinely are pedophiles and don't act on it. Mm-hmm. And there are those who are and do, and those people need to be punished.
Yeah.
If not outright killed. But
getting pissed at me for saying that, like that it's not the same thing. Getting beat up and getting raped isn't the same thing.
No, it's definitely not. Oh, they were getting mad about that?
Yeah. Because I basically made the comment of I'd rather take 50 ass whoopings than getting raped even once. And then he was like, well, how do you know? Not everybody thinks like that. Not everybody's like that. And I'm like, fuck you, dude.
It forces them to put it in perspective. It forces them to really look at their own choices and they have to really think about whether or not they're going to victimize somebody. Because they have those sexual urges. Those are powerful urges.
Yeah. That's about as powerful as it gets, dude. The fucking
drive for sex.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of kids who are innocent who just don't know until it's it's happening, or even then don't really understand until later when somebody else talks to them and they're like, oh my god.
Yeah, it's and yeah, it's fucking weird because even the ones that like I don't know, man, like the ones that advocate for it, like let's say the fucking kid somehow can provide informed consent, which again, bear with me, this is hypothetical.
I would say
how's
there's
that kid not
probably
gonna fucking suffer when he gets discarded when he gets too old for the guy, dude?
Yeah, well, I would say there's probably something like 0.001% of the population is probably fits in that category.
Yeah,
I'm sure there's
incredibly rare.
Concern. It's extremely rare, but I'm sure they're there.
Yeah, yeah.
But
even then, like, it's going to fuck them up when they get discarded when they're not a kid anymore. You know what
exactly.
I mean?
Well, it's one of the things I got onto one of Liz's streams to argue with them about because they were going like the sort of super fucking gung ho crazy route, and I'm like, look, I think the age of consent should be malleable. I think that it should be based more on whether or not somebody's capable of consenting than on a specific, line in the sand. Because there's going to be a lot of people, both over and under that age, that are being harmed by that.
Actually, I think that was one of the first times that I had seen you on streams, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a long time ago, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was a long time ago.
Yeah, because I was kind of like,
it took a while for them to understand what I was talking about, and then they were like, "Oh, okay, you're not like pro pedo. You're just saying like, you have to be reasonable about this thing, and it's just one perspective." And I also see that could be incredibly abusive.
Right. Right.
Like, I don't deny that that's not the best choice.
Right.
But I'm not willing to ignore a reasonable, logical argument for the sake of my own personal feelings, if that makes sense. I don't
know. Yeah, no, I got you. No, it's a thing that these fucking idiots like Ranting Monkey and the fucking Phil guy that debated Ranthony, they're just fucking idiots. They're just not willing to reassess anything about their fucking arguments. So, like, they're holding on to that emotional reaction, and they're not using logic at all. Because it really is, how many times have most of us on this side, in reference to the SJWs or feminists, said, hey, man, like, if it was just speech that everybody liked, free speech would be easy.
Yeah, oh yeah, exactly.
And like, this is
then you start talking about, this kind of situation, and everybody's like, wait, no, now you're crossing the line.
Yeah,
like, no, I'm sorry.
No, because again, that was my first reaction too, and then I was like, fuck, that's true. If you're not going to let this guy fucking advocate for, say what he wants, again, without actually inciting anything.
Yeah, and then one thing I think Amos is extremely clever is that he's never crossed that line to say, like, I want you to go out and, like, try to mess with kids.
Yeah, exactly.
He's never crossed that line. He's only ever said, I think that we need to take a look at whether or not the laws are reasonable. And I think a big part of me thinks he's trolling, especially with, like, the most latest thing that he's doing.
Yeah, well, the babies can consent because what's the difference between grabbing a finger and grabbing a cock?
There's a new thing. He's
really?
He's claiming to get kicked out of his place. He's claiming that CPS is kicking him out. And I'm like, that's just not true.
Yeah, no, that's
CPS
the thing.
Can't kick you out for saying weird shit on the internet. That's not how that really works.
Yeah. No, I think
they just don't have the authority.
Yeah, who was I listening to that said, like, yeah, you're really painting yourself into a corner with this bullshit?
Probably Mr. Matoker said it. I know he's been saying it on Twitter a lot, but
yeah, no, actually, it was him. That's right. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. He did a video. Like, what are you going to do when the time's up? Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, and you're still not.
But even before I saw Mr. Matoker's video, I was like, that's not how CPS works. Like, so one time, a long time ago, my dad was trying to get my brother to hurry his ass up and kind of almost accidentally on purpose, pushed him into the counter, and he got a big old cut over one of his eyes, like over his eyebrow. And CPS got involved, and it's like, they never even came close to taking my brother out of the house, and like that was a pretty serious, real thing happening.
Right.
They're not gonna be like, well, this guy is advocating for reviewing laws online that are uncomfortable for some people. Well, we're going to get him out of the house with the kids. They don't have that authority. So.
Yeah, no, it was, like you said, he's really painting himself into a fucking corner, like Matoker said.
He's fucking out of his.
Yeah,
he's pushing it way too far.
He doesn't realize that he's really killing any chances he has for sustained like popularity or whatever by doing this shit.
Well, I mean, he could do the Keemstar.
He's getting some notoriety for it.
I mean, look at Keemstar though. Keemstar is pretty fucking universally reviled. You know, I don't think there's a lot of people that watch his stuff because they like Keemstar. I think they just enjoy the drama. So I mean, he's going to be like the anti-hero kind of thing. Like he's so.
No, this is a subject I don't think you get away with that shit on, dude.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
I could be wrong.
I could be wrong.
Well, I'm just saying. I'm wondering if he drops this stuff and then moves on to something else and just keeps moving on to all these really unpopular positions on all these other things. Just continues to keep stirring it up with like a new thing.
Yeah,
I wasn't thinking he was going to keep going down the same like pedo road. I don't think that was going to happen.
Yeah, no, it's a little weird, man. Yeah,
I'm sure you could get. You know, I'm sure that like things like NAMBLA. I mean, if he really kept going down the same route, I'm sure he would get funding from like NAMBLA. And
that's true.
That kind of thing would give him money.
Yeah. He probably couldn't keep it up through like Patreon or whatever. They might cut him off for
Yeah, he'd have to go through different routes to get the money.
Yeah, it'd have to be PayPal or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
But yeah, I could see him getting a lot of fucking support from them. And that may be what he's angling for. You know, he may be like, you know what, these guys will throw a shitload of money at me, these sick fucks.
To keep advocating this, yeah. Could be.
Yeah. So in that case, I guess. But I thought Ranthony made him look pretty goddamn foolish, but I'm biased.
Ranthony fucking destroyed him.
Yeah, okay. I wasn't sure if it was just me.
Had, facts that he'd researched and was, going through, and he was just systematically taking his arguments apart logically.
Yeah, I think I kind of remarked on there. I'm like, anybody who's regularly in a debate saying, what you're talking about when there was nothing confusing about what you said is obviously flustered and is obviously stalling.
I think I can't think of one mistake that Ranthony made. The one mistake Ranthony made, I think, was when Amos Hugh was talking about the
tribes.
The tribes and stuff. Yeah. And he was saying, like, well, that's why they're third world countries. Well, you don't find that kind of abuse in every third world country, though.
Right.
So you can't say
that was a little off.
Like that was not a really good argument on Ranthony's part.
Yeah, but the way he fucking finally got Amos Hugh to admit, like, it's different than assault. It just is. The way he fucking.
Like, would you like me to shove pie in your mouth or my dick? Which one would you prefer?
Right.
Why do you prefer the pie?
Right. Yeah, no, he fucking laid it out really well. And Amos did not want to fucking answer it. Like, it took him a long time.
It was indefensible. Like, there was no way to beat that logical.
Yeah. No, that's why he was trying to avoid it. He was trying to avoid answering it, dude.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? What do you mean? What are you talking about? Like, you don't have any.
He was clearly, he was prevaricating. He was definitely like, I'm just not going to answer that question because there's no way to answer that.
I'm going to pretend I don't understand what you're saying, even though it's obvious what you're saying.
Yeah.
And even at one point, Ranthony was like, you don't want to answer because it's a fucking trap.
Well, no, it wasn't even a trap. It's just, it's going to destroy your argument.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But it was funny, dude.
When you're asking somebody if they'd rather have pie or your dick shoved in their mouth, you're not trying to trap them. There's no hidden agenda there.
Yeah.
It's really obvious.
No, I guess the wording was a little off, but you don't want to answer.
Trying to, I guess you could say he was trying to trap him in a logical conclusion that he couldn't argue his way out of.
Right. Yeah, and even then, Amos was still trying to claim that, no, I don't care, whatever. Pie, dick, doesn't matter. Like, fucking shut up, dude. It's so fucking ridiculous, dude.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's like, I saw this argument. Somebody was saying, like, you blame people for driving drunk, but you don't blame them for, if they're both drunk for sex, only one person gets in trouble, but, if they're both drunk driving, they both get in trouble. Mm-hmm. And then somebody was like, well, somebody's drunk driving and the other person gets hit by the car while they're drunk. You don't blame the person who was walking drunk. I'm like, that's not remotely close to the same thing.
Right. Yeah.
Walking drunk is not illegal. Driving drunk is, because driving drunk is extremely dangerous, whereas walking drunk is not.
Or at least not to other people.
Yeah, exactly. It's not a danger to anybody around
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, you're not driving around a fucking ton of fucking metal and yeah.
Because walking drunk, you might kill yourself, but you're not likely to kill anyone else. Driving drunk, you are very likely to kill somebody else.
Yeah, indeed.
And I bet you there would be a much less people would do it if they just start cutting hands off. Yeah.
Yeah, we got that fucking view.
You just picture fucking. You picture some teenager getting caught like wasting his car, and the cop's like, "All right, come in the back of the car. I got my machete.
Cutting your fucking hand off, buddy.
Taking your left hand this time. You're lucky."
Yeah, it would definitely cut down on the fucking drunk driving.
There'd be no fucking drinking.
That's gonna happen. You're like, no, I'm gonna walk home 30 miles. I'm not fucking taking a risk of getting my fucking hand chopped off.
Well, the thing that I have a problem with is, it's almost illegal to be drunk and sleeping in your car.
Yeah, that's a little fucking weird, dude.
There's very, very few ways you can do it legally. And you have to be extremely careful, which you can't be when you're drunk.
Right.
But man, if somebody's in the back seat or in like the bed of their truck or like the fucking the station wagon, they're in the back of the station wagon or something, or as long as they're not in the driver's seat and sleeping, I think it should be totally fine to be wasted.
Yeah, a cop's a fucking a complete dick to fucking go after somebody for doing that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're a fucking asshole.
The difference between somebody who was driving and then decided to fucking, not, to pull over and pretend they're asleep or something after you were chasing them, and somebody who genuinely just went straight to their car from the barn, like passed out in the back seat or something. You can tell.
Yeah. If you're gonna fucking charge them with a DUI because they fucking happened to turn the radio on and listen to the radio while they crashed out drunk in the back seat,
or the heater because it's winter.
Yeah.
Some of these places like Wisconsin and like Milwaukee and shit.
Yeah, you're a fucking asshole cop.
Yeah, you're an asshole cop. Like, they should, if they're doing the right thing, they're sleeping it off, not bothering anybody. They could solve that by just having like $10 beds in the back of bars.
That could be like a little fucking cot to crash on.
Yeah.
You get that many drunk people trying to crash. Well, if they're that drunk, I could see that being a problem, though.
Well, maybe if they were little cubicles.
Yeah, you'd have to have something separating them, dude.
Otherwise, you just end up with like an orgy every fucking night.
Yeah, or a brawl, or both.
One of the two, probably one followed by the other.
Both going on at the same time. Be
first they fight, then they fuck. Sometimes it's first they fuck, then they fight. You never know which is which.
You kind of go in and out.
You're cleaning a sticky mess off the floor every day.
Right. Either way, it's bad.
Well, it's like the places where they allow prostitution. They don't allow prostitution, but they make an area where people can go to bang hookers where nobody's going to get arrested or bothered. And it cuts down on all sorts of like ancillary crime. Like, it's just like the overall crime rate drops substantially because people can't get away with a whole bunch of other shit where people are fucking the hookers.
Right.
And the police aren't wasting their time on something that's really not hurting anybody.
Yeah, you can go through the
going after the stuff that really is hurting people.
Yeah. I still don't understand why that shit's illegal.
Yeah, how do we get from Amos Yee to hookers?
Yeah, we always find a way, dude. Come on, we've made way bigger jumps than this, dude. Come on.
I just feel like dirty now, though, because suddenly we went from like the weird, creepy pedo pusher to like fucking hookers.
Just talking prostitution, right?
God, they should legalize that shit. That should be so legal at this point.
Yeah, it's two consenting adults, dude. There's no real victimization, or if it is, it's voluntary by adults.
And you end all of the victimization by making it legal and regulating it.
Right. Yeah, I haven't seen any issues in fucking Nevada with
Well, they have like a 0% transmission rate of STDs.
Yeah, see?
So, clearly the regulation works.
Yeah.
Or I don't think there's been a single case of HIV/AIDS being transferred or anything incurable. I think maybe there might have been a couple of cases of like syphilis or something.
Right.
Which isn't cool, but with the
Not
number of people
terminal
that
and
are
not.
banging, that's pretty fucking low.
Yeah, yeah. And they keep it out of the city, right? Like you can only do it out in the fucking. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it has to be outside city limits. It has to be like within the Nevada state, but it can't be within a city or something. Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, yeah.
All I know is my
Yeah,
buddy
see,
wanted
it's
to take me to one of the whorehouses in Vegas, and I'm kind of glad. Like, I'm not glad he passed away, but I'm kind of glad he passed away before I was old
jeez.
enough, because that did not seem like a grandpa grandson trip to me.
Yeah, that's bizarre, dude. You know,
And he was
that's
married,
creepy.
and he would talk about this in front of his wife, and she was totally fine with it.
Uh,
I guess maybe after a certain number of years, you're just like, don't fucking bother some other bitch.
like you're still horny at this age? God damn it.
Stop trying to put it in me. Look, I mean,
Yeah.
what else do you want?
Your fucking nutsack's hanging down to my knees. This is disgusting.
Well, maybe he paid her what he would have been paying the hookers at Mustang Ranch,
Right.
Bunny
Yeesh.
Ranch or something. Well, I forget what it was, because
Yeah,
it
Mustang
was the
Ranch is one
Mustang
of them.
Ranch, and then
Mustang
it was
Ranch
the
is
Bunny
definitely one
Ranch.
of them. Yeah.
Well, I think it changed to the Bunny Ranch,
Mm-hmm.
or vice versa. It was the Bunny Ranch and it changed to the Mustang Ranch, one or the other. Because I remember.
Yeah, could be.
Well, because I remember distinctly one day it was one, and then the next day it was the other. And I'm like, what do you mean this? He's like, what about that? He's like, oh, it changed names.
All right. Damn.
Not only
But
did he
yeah.
have a favorite whorehouse, he kept on it, and I kept up on it enough to know when it named
Right.
from another state.
Damn.
Grandpa.
Yeah. He found out before anyone.
I inherited one of the Playboy keys from my other grandpa.
Oh wow.
It's a little golden necklace chain key that you have that could used to be able to get you into like clubs, and it's in the clubs you could actually open things with it to get free shit.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Right on.
magazines and whatnot. Yeah, it was a trip. I lost it a long time ago, unfortunately. I'm sure it'd be worth something now.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, well. Just like me and my gold Zelda cartridges, dude. They're gone forever.
Yeah, it's too bad. Too bad. Oh, let's see. But we're talking about hookers here, so I did have a story that's, well, it's not really related, but it involves KY jelly. So,
all right. Close enough.
So a police officer trolls his would-be murderer with KY jelly at sentencing. So Florida police officer was taking his kid to school. He wasn't on duty, but somebody tried to pull him over. Or no, he tried to pull over Kevin Rojas. Rojas got out of his Cadillac, started shooting at the officer. Did not hit the son, did hit the officer a couple times.
Oh, wow.
3 shots hit the officer. And then when the officer spoke at Rojas' sentencing, he pulled out a bottle of KY jelly and said, I brought a little gift for you. You'll need it where you're going.
Damn. Nice.
That was pretty fucking gangster of that cop. Like, he got shot 3 times. And he's like, here's some KY. You need it, bitch.
Yeah. That's fucking awesome.
That's one of the few times I'll trust anything from Steven Crowder's website.
Right.
Like, he was funny, I'll believe it.
Right.
And
I like how they put it in the fucking clip from Half Baked when fucking dude drops the soap, dude. That's fucking funny.
I wonder if that shit happens in prison. Like, if it really, like, you drop the soap, you get raped. Like, I bet you it's not.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't known a lot of people that spent time in prison, but the ones that I have say that shit only happens, almost universally only happens if you want it to happen.
Yeah. Because I would imagine, one dude just starts raping other dudes in the shower, everyone's going to beat the fuck out of him.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, nobody's going to be okay with that. They're all going to be like, no, we don't want to get raped, so we're just going to take this dude out.
Yeah, exactly. Like, if he happens to be the biggest dude, like, you're not just going to fucking... Yeah, everybody's going to get a little tired of that pretty goddamn quickly. Getting raped because they're not the biggest guy. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you don't have to be the biggest guy when there's 20 of you.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying though. Like, if they didn't do that, then the biggest dude could just rape anybody he wanted at any time.
Yeah.
So yeah, everybody's gonna gang up and beat the fuck out of that dude.
Like, don't get me wrong. I'm sure people get raped in prison. We know it happens factually.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But I'm sure it's like in cells or in other situations than the shower.
Yeah, and it's usually a retaliatory thing for something that dude did. I think more than just fucking him because he looks pretty. You know what I mean? Or drop the soap or that kind of shit.
Oh, more like a punishment, like to humiliate him.
I think, yeah, it's more of like a domination, humiliation thing. I could be wrong. That's honestly just a guess. Yeah. Yeah, but from what I've, like I said, any of the guys I talked to, like,
gamut, you know,
it rarely happens without you wanting it to happen. And obviously, it's not rape if you're, willing to fucking do it. I guess he was talking about fucking. He wasn't specifically saying rape, but like, dudes fucking in prison. It only happens if you wanted to. Guys getting raped all the time is, not true.
Well, I'm sure that happens. There's probably like one prison where it does because it's just the worst prison ever.
Right.
But I would imagine, if you're the warden and your prisoners are like constantly raping each other, you'd probably take some steps to stop that.
Right. Like, you guys just can't be left alone. You guys are showering one at a time. You've each got 12 seconds to shower. You fucking animals.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then find some way to fucking do that shit. Yeah. Although it is weird. Why wouldn't they just put in little fucking stalls? They don't have to be, they don't have to have a door, behind.
Oh,
but like, put it a little separate.
It's supposed to be a punishment, and it's probably a lot cheaper to just build a big room than to build a big room with stalls. So, and especially now that it's all a for-profit fucking arrangement, it's not even like a state-run thing. They probably don't give a shit. Whatever they can to save money, they're going to save money because they just want to make as much as they can.
Yeah, that should never have fucking happened, in my opinion. It should never have been privatized, dude.
Well, I'm wondering if that's not, if the days are numbered for that, because Trump is walking back a lot of the shit that really is like that kind of stuff. Like he's walking back a lot of those kind of things right now.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't know how the average American feels about that, but I don't see how that should have ever been allowed, dude.
I think the average American probably doesn't know. Is my guess. I think there's probably, probably maybe 20% of the people actually realize that that's going on because it's not, broadcast on ABC and CBS and NBC. They're not putting it on the news because they're getting paid by the guys, to keep it out of the news, no doubt.
Yeah, but then you hear about like judges sentencing people like way more harshly because they're getting kickbacks.
Yeah, but I don't think people necessarily connect it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but no, there's been judges busted for that, dude.
No, I know. I don't think people connect the judges getting kickbacks with the fact that the kickbacks are because prisons are for profit.
Okay, that's usually included in the story, but
I mean, I don't think people really fully get it. Like, I don't think they pay that much attention. You know what
I gotcha. Like, yeah, they're like, it's in there, but they're not. It's still not registering in their head that, like, hey, these guys
maybe that's an issue too.
Yeah.
Yeah, they get caught up in
the happened if fucking prisons weren't privatized. Like, yeah, they don't make that connection.
Yeah, they're just seeing the judge that was bad. Like the evil judge is getting
crushed, and that's all they get out of it. Out of the story is the fact that there's a corrupt judge.
I wonder
not the fact that it's a corrupt system.
Man, like cops are probably not real beloved in prison.
Right.
But what about judges? Like that'd be the fucking worst.
Oh yeah, I can't imagine they would see anything close to fucking general population. Although they'd probably be in the federal prison things anyway, the ones with like fucking Olympic-sized swimming pools and fucking that bullshit.
Yeah, the white collar prisons.
Yeah, the fucking federal ones, dude.
Yeah,
the federal white collar. Yeah, which that seems wrong to me too. Like there shouldn't be prisons that nice. I know it's still prison.
If I'm looking at the prison and going, well, I'm not dating anyway, that's way better than my house. Like,
right?
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous, dude. Like, oh, you only did that kind of crime, so you can, jump off this Olympic diving board into this Olympic-sized pool and fucking. Ugh.
Yeah, I got one of my cousins is in a real serious prison right now. Hopefully, keeping his head down and keeping to himself and shit. Hopefully, this is what it takes to get him to fucking stop doing like meth and stuff. We're all really hoping, because it's really too bad, because he's got a lot of real legit skills. Like, he plays piano, he can play piano by ear. He just taught himself how to play it.
Oh wow.
He cooks like really, really well, like chef quality cook. And he's got all these different potential like avenues he could have taken to be successful, but he took meth.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of that, man. That's another thing that's pretty common to recovery is people that are incredibly creative in some way, or maybe multiple ways like that, that end up, alcoholics and addicts, man.
Well,
it's really common. A lot of artists, a lot of fucking musicians, a lot of that shit.
If he'd gone alcohol or like heroin, he'd probably be a musician and making money at least. But he went meth.
Yeah, it's almost required as part of the job.
Yeah, but he went meth. It just doesn't go fucking anywhere, ever.
Yeah. Meth seems to be a really special kind of fucking evil. Like I said, I've never done it, but I've talked to people that have done both. Like I've talked to people that were hooked on fucking heroin and ended up later getting hooked on meth, or vice versa. And meth is the psychological part of meth addiction is apparently way fucking worse than anything else, dude.
Really? Because I see people on meth and I'm like, they look miserable as fuck.
Like but when they're without it,
to get them, they can't stop moving. It looks really uncomfortable.
No, that's why I never tried it, dude. Because I saw people on it, and I was like, that doesn't look fun at all.
It looks like torture. Like,
but
hey, I'm gonna
whatever it is,
myself up for 4 hours in hell.
Yeah, I'm gonna fucking sweep this fucking room for 3 hours, and I'm fucking having a grand old time.
Well, not only am I going to sweep this room for 3 hours, but I'm going to sweep this room for 3 hours because I think people are going to kill me if I don't.
It was just a bunch of shit, dude. And I was just like, it does not seem fun to me, dude. Like, I'm not even fucking touching that shit. And that's the thing. The town I live in, and the state I live in, really, was one of the fucking kind of ground zero for meth, dude. Like, it's been the fucking epidemic here since like the early 90s.
Oh, that makes sense though, because you got all that BLM land.
Yeah, there's a bunch of fucking middle of the desert kind of places.
Yeah, you got huge areas where people can just go and no one's ever gonna see them cooking that meth.
Yeah,
no one's gonna come even close, so they don't got to worry.
Yeah, a lot of little fucking pocket communities out in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Yeah,
it's really weird.
If you know what you're doing, you could fucking pour the right kind of chemicals in a fucking plastic bottle with some fucking cold medicine and shake it for a little while and end up with meth in like an hour or two.
Yeah, they get down to it, man. Yeah,
it's not that hard to make. What was it in fucking? I think it's in Arizona, near Flagstaff. There's supposed to be a Flintstones land.
Oh, really?
Which was like, it's sort of like a deserted thing now. Like there's nobody that runs it now.
Oh, yeah, I think I drove past that. I think it's east of Flagstaff. Shit. A pretty decent clip. Because we went out when, I just went on vacation up there in October. We went out to, Meteor Crater. And are you familiar with Meteor Crater?
No.
Okay, well, it's about 40 miles from Flagstaff, 40 miles east of Flagstaff. It's where a fucking gigantic meteor fucking explosion happened. It's something like 500 or 600 foot deep and like a mile and a half around crater. It's where they trained for the moon missions. It was basically in that crater.
Oh, it's near old Route 66. I'm looking it up here.
Right. Yeah. So it's essentially a huge hole in the ground, but it's actually pretty interesting going through like the little fucking, visitor center, and they've got a little, what do you call it? A little thing, a little film that talks about it and shit.
Hey, look, there's pictures
of that's pretty cool.
Film right there. That's kind of cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So they got a lot of cool displays and shit. So I don't think it was that one because that was pretty close. But we went out to the Petrified Forest / Painted Desert, which is about a good 2 hours.
Well, that's interesting.
East. Yeah. I got a shitload of pictures. I really should load them up to Instagram or whatever. But yeah, it was somewhere along there that I saw that Flintstones thing. But yeah, it didn't look like it was still open.
I'm looking to see if I can. Flintstones Bedrock City.
Yeah. I know I saw there was that. There was like a dinosaur thing that was closed down. Yeah, there's a couple things on the way there that were, kind of weird.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. I popped up an image search. Let me share my screen.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is what I was talking about. Does that look familiar?
Bedrock City. Right. Yeah. I couldn't see that much of it from the place. What does it say it's actually at? I'm not 100% sure it was correct.
It's in Arizona.
Doesn't say near.
Built in 1972, south of the Grand Canyon.
Oh yeah, that's probably okay. Yeah, because we went to the Grand Canyon too, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, the Grand Canyon is something I do want to see sometime. That is one of those things I was like, I'd really like to see that someday.
Yeah, dude, you really can't grasp the scope, the magnitude of the place without being there. I'd been there before.
That's what I'm thinking. I absolutely believe you,
dude. I want to see it. Dude, even I'd been there when I was younger, and I forgot. Like I went back and I'm like, holy shit, I forgot how fucking majestic and amazing this is, dude.
I think it's one of those things similar to. Okay, we'll stop sharing here. And there goes my fucking brain. Like the first time you see the beach, like the ocean. When you can really get a good long view of it and just how massive the ocean is, that it just doesn't, you can't see the end of it.
Or even a big lake. I remember the first time I couldn't see the other side of a lake. I was like, what? This exists? This is crazy. And then the ocean was obviously even bigger. You go to the Great Lakes, you cannot see anything close to the other side. So yeah, any big body of water like that, but even that, it's
or like. Have you ever been to a really big old redwood forest?
No, and I want to.
That's something special too, because you're looking at like. It's similar to being at the feeling is similar to being like at the big lake or the water or something like that. It's just this feeling of being so small.
Yeah, I can imagine, dude.
To that.
Yeah, I definitely want to do that sometime before I fucking die.
Well, it's one of those things. Going to any of those kind of places.
Yeah, way high on my bucket list is seeing redwoods or sequoias.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, there's trees you can drive your car through. It's cool.
No, I remember that. That shit would never happen nowadays, I would imagine. But yeah, they bored through a fucking tree to fucking let people drive through it. Yeah.
I think that was one of them, but I think one of them just had like a big thing that grew naturally.
Oh, really? Like a natural kind of arch to it?
Split, and then the rock eventually wore away, kind of thing.
Oh, gotcha. All right, but one of them, there's one that's literally, you can tell it's just cut out, And
there's one like that. Yeah. I know. There's one that is like that, but I don't know. I don't know because there's a couple of different ones, so I couldn't be. I know one of them is, but I think the other one might not be.
Yeah, but yeah, I think even the Grand Canyon might top that because it's just, like it's so
I bet.
wide and it's so fucking deep, like you just can't grasp it without actually fucking seeing it. And I had been there before, I had seen it before, and it still kind of blew my mind going back to it, dude, because it had been 20 years or whatever since I had been there. You
Well,
know,
like you said about the redwoods or the sequoias, it's definitely one of those things on my bucket list. Like I want to go see the Grand Canyon at least once.
right?
Just
Yeah,
I feel like
not too
it's an
far.
important thing. Like it puts your life in perspective. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's pretty goddamn cool, especially when you're up on the rim. Like, what was really fucking awesome because like where the visitor center and all that is, like the canyons there, and it's a sheer fucking drop, you
yeah,
know. And you look out, and there's birds flying about 200 or 300 feet below where you're at because they're actually 1,000 feet above the ground. But
yeah.
because of the cliffs, the way they work, they're actually below you, like a flock of birds flying like way below you. It's pretty cool.
Oh, that makes me feel almost a little dizzy just thinking about it.
Yeah, and I finally understood why my parents would freak out when I would get anywhere near the edge. Because
Oh,
like
I
my
bet you
son would
did.
be like 4 or 5 feet away from it, and I'm like, hey, that's close enough. Hey, like fucking freaking out because there would be a little bit of like like
I
little tiny
couldn't blame you.
pebbles.
Like I laugh, but I seriously I don't blame you. Like I can
Yeah.
definitely
But no, as a
understand.
kid, I'm sure my son was exactly like I was. Like, what are you worried about? Like, I'm not even that close to the edge, not realizing like, there's a little bit of, because I see the little bit of gravel and shit that's kind of over these rocks. I'm like, dude, you could easily slip on that and you're fucking gone, you
Oh,
know?
there's no guardrail. You're not like on a lookout thing with like a.
Yeah. Well, there's plenty of spots where there's guardrails, but there's plenty of spots where you
That's
can
what
fucking,
I'm
yeah,
not
you
going to
can
the
get
place
out there
without
and
the guardrail.
stand on the fucking edge without a fucking guardrail,
I'm not going
and
anywhere near a place that doesn't have one. No, absolutely not.
yeah, so that's why, like, I let him go and get down through it, but I did not let him get anywhere near the fucking edge. I'm like, no, hey, that's close enough. And even that, I was really uncomfortable with, you know.
Yeah, well, I don't blame you. I don't think I could get that close.
Yeah,
I might be
yeah,
like 5 feet away from the edge, going, "Hey, that's close enough, me." Yeah, it's as far as you want to walk.
yeah. Damn. Because yeah, it definitely will give you a little vertigo too, looking down into that shit. So you kind of want
That's
to
what I
have,
would worry about. Yeah, I wouldn't
yeah,
get too close to the edge and get vertigo and tip the wrong fucking way.
yeah. Yeah. Plus, there's a cool little spot. It's like a little natural amphitheater with a bunch of rocks and shit. Well, it's mostly not natural. They've actually kind of sculpted it a little, but there's these big ass boulders and shit, and the little squirrels and shit are, it's obvious that people have been feeding these fucking squirrels.
Oh yeah.
Because they are very not afraid of people. Like there's this one couple, and the lady was trying to shoo him, and that fucking squirrel was still hanging right there. It was not moving at all, dude. Like she's trying to kind of swing her bag at it, and yeah, it was still just sitting there, dude.
That squirrel's going,
Yeah,
bitch, you ain't gonna hit me. We both know it.
right. And fucking give me some food, goddamn it. It was literally that kind of fucking attitude. I think I got a couple shots of it because, man, like I said, one of them was like running like right by our feet and shit. Like not a fucking care in the world, dude. Just ready for somebody to fucking give them some shit to eat.
Yeah, I had baby raccoons that did that where I used to work when I was still up all night.
Mm-hmm. That's
Because for
crazy.
whatever reason, they would send me out to just look around the property twice a night. And I'm like, I don't know what you
Mm-hmm.
guys think I'm going to do because I sure as shit I'm not going to be fucking confronting anybody.
Right, right.
Y'all pay me
God
minimum
damn.
wage. I don't give a fuck.
Right. I might escort them in if I find somebody. Fuck you guys.
Well, I have let people sleep on the couch a couple times. They were
Mm,
clients that were in different CSN programs,
mm,
so they weren't like just random hobos.
right, right.
So it wasn't like a
Yeah, it wasn't
there was
just a
no
random
violation of
person.
licensing. We were not going to get shut down for it.
Right, right.
And it's one of the things that happens is say a client goes to the emergency room or something, right? And
Right.
they're like, all right, well, that person's fine. They just wanted attention again. So we're sending them back to you, and they'll give them a taxi voucher and send them back to you. Well, you're the only person there in the middle of the night. So if their records are a little funky and that person used to live in the program and now they live in a different program, but it's with the same company, so they just send it to yours. You don't have access. I didn't have access to any money to send the taxi any further, and they weren't going to go anywhere else without getting paid.
Right.
And here's this person, and this happened a couple of times. Here's this person all doped up on fucking whatever they gave him at the hospital to get him to calm down and stop crying and stop asking for shit they couldn't have,
Right.
Usually like big doses of like risperidone and like Benadryl and shit. So I'd be like,
so
all right, well, I guess
crash. Let somebody deal with it in the morning.
Yeah, well, usually I would just drive them back to whatever program it was in the morning.
Right.
Yeah, no big deal.
Yeah.
As long as it was somebody who didn't look like they were going to wet the car,
Right.
If it's somebody I knew who was like, they were cool, I'll be like, all right, yeah, I'll just give you a ride, man. No worries.
Right on.
Yeah, I'm a nice guy. I'm not a terrible person. If it's some random hobo, because we've had a few people that just like, they knew, people who had problems lived there, so that they thought they could just come in and like move in that night,
Right. Just show up and fucking be like, hey, I'm nuts. Can I move in?
Oh yeah, we had one lady who just fucking wouldn't leave the fucking deck. I didn't even know who she was. She's never been in any of our programs. And I called the police, and they're like, well, are you willing to press charges? Because otherwise we can't do anything. I'm like, well, wait. First of all, let me wrap my head around this. She's on private property, refusing to leave after being asked, and you can't do anything if I don't press charges. How does that fucking work? I think
that's got to be a California thing, because I can't imagine.
Yeah, I don't fucking know what it was. Clearly, I was like,
or it was a cop that didn't want to deal with shit thing.
Well, she kept knocking and banging on the door and demanding like we feed her and stuff, and I'm like, no, I can't just give you the food we have for our clients, then we won't have it for them. Like it's not like we had a bunch just sitting around,
Yeah, that's fucking nuts, dude.
Yeah.
Yeesh.
Yeah, and I'm like, of course I'm going to press charges. She can't fucking stay here all night long. 2 hours after I called when they finally showed up. Because some asshole originally just went and did like a drive-by, and he didn't see her because she was sitting off to the side behind the bushes on a chair or something. They had this big wraparound porch on one of the houses.
All right.
And so, you sit down on the porch, you're hidden behind the shrubs from the street. And so he just looked on our porch right in front of the door and was like, oh, but there's nobody there, and kept driving, and then never came back and never reported anything.
Fucking asshole cops, dude.
Yeah, fucking lazy motherfucker.
Yeah.
That was a fun night.
That's fucking crazy. All right, lady. Obviously, you probably belong in our program, but I'm sorry you're not yet.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, it's unfortunate, but because of our county licensing and contracts and stuff, they have to be recommended through the county.
Right.
So they have to get into an emergency shelter, get hooked up with services through like the county psychiatry department. And one of the county psychiatrists has to recommend them after, diagnosing and getting their medications all set up in one of the locked facilities, and then they can.
Yeah, it's a whole thing.
Transition. It's a whole big thing. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then the really sad thing is, once you're in that system, it's super, super difficult to get out, even if you really are doing all the stuff you need to do to get out.
Wow.
So it can be a real weird situation for a lot of people.
Blood in, blood out.
We had one dude who was on. He was actually very mild and probably didn't need to be doing any of these programs if he wasn't so damn lazy. But he was on like 2 medications, one of which he didn't need.
Wow.
And was just misdiagnosed, and they'd been giving him this stuff for years that he should never have been taking. And so he just refused to take it. And so we had him there for like 2 months before we could finally get the psychiatrist to be like, oh, I guess he doesn't need it. Because he was doing great without it.
Wow.
And then if he took it, it'd just fuck him up.
Yeah. Yeah, see, shit like that should not take that much fucking time and effort to fucking correct.
Well, luckily
Yeah.
in California, legally they can refuse to take medication. So
Yeah. Yeah. Well, luckily in some cases, not so luckily in others, I would imagine.
well, we have the option to determine whether or not they get to stay there if they don't take their meds.
No, gotcha.
So if we determine that it's a risk to anyone else or the staff or anything or themselves, even in some cases,
Yeah.
that we go back to a locked facility and we take them
Yeah.
out.
I imagine if you threaten them with that, they're usually pretty quick to take the meds, I would imagine.
We're not allowed to threaten people. I would
Yeah.
never do that. That would be wrong.
Yeah. I'm sorry, just letting them know.
Yeah,
Hey,
no,
you can
no,
you
we
can you
would
can
never
so you can
threaten.
totally not take your medication, but you're not going to stay here. You're going to go to the locked facility.
Yeah,
Yeah.
never for even the sake of expediency would I ever threaten anybody with that. No, so terrible.
Not at all.
No.
Yeah. So the bottom line is, yeah, you should definitely visit the Grand Canyon before you die.
Absolutely, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I really do. That's one of the things I want to see. I like that.
Yeah. No, it's
It's like
worth
I
it,
like being
man.
able to go to the coast because I'm like a half hour from the beach,
Right.
half hour 45 minutes if there's traffic. I can just drive out there.
Yeah. It kind of loses its luster if you've had access to it the whole time, right?
It still like puts you in. It puts your day in perspective. Like
Yeah.
all this
Yeah.
shit you get crazy and worried and anxious and upset over, and then you look out and you're like, that's gonna be there in like 100 years, and it's not gonna give a shit, and I'm gone.
Right.
The world is so much
Yeah.
bigger than just me. I don't have to carry all this shit and worry about all
Yeah.
this shit.
No,
You know?
I always feel really peaceful at the beach, just fucking watching the sunset, watching the fucking waves roll in. Like it really fucking calms me, dude.
But I get the same
Although I
thing
don't
from
get
like the redwood forest. Like there's a few of those nearby that I can go drive down and hike in and stuff.
yeah,
It's like the same thing.
nice.
That tree was around before I was even like my family was even on this side of the ocean.
Right. Like,
So
yeah, this tree was roughly the same age as Jesus would be if he were still alive.
yeah, and you look at that kind of stuff and you see how tall and massive it is, and you can lean up against one side of it with your arms outstretched, and you're not even a quarter of the width of the tree.
Yeah, yeah, that's got to be nuts. Yeah, that's definitely, like I said, something I want to see. Actually, there's a spot other besides the Grand Canyon, which it's about an hour and a half outside of Flagstaff. There's a spot that's only about 5 miles east, called Walnut Canyon, which it's a much smaller canyon. But there's a shitload of old Native American ruins, like cliff dwelling type shit.
Oh, dude, that sounds awesome.
Down. Yeah, yeah, we actually did that one of the days too. It's mostly vertical, honestly. Like there's steps and shit, so it's not like you're fucking rappelling or something. But you kind of fucking go all the way down into the canyon, and then there's like a section where like a river or whatever will split and then come back together. Well, there's a little spot they called the island that was like that, like on right in the middle of where that kind of happened. So you basically go down and you hike around that thing,
Oh,
and then
yeah.
you kind of hike back up. And there's a bunch of ruins like right next to you on that little island section, and across the way, almost all the way around, you can see other dwellings and shit.
And you can look
So
at them, but you can't go in them, I'm assuming.
yeah, some of them you can go in.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like I said, there's plenty that you can only see from across the canyon, obviously. But yeah, there's plenty of them that you can, actually go in and fucking check them out. It's really cool. It's a really fucking cool little spot. Even my son, really dug it too.
You get to see
So
where people used to live.
yeah, yeah, because that was back. I don't
Have you
know. At
heard
least
of banyan trees?
the what?
Yeah, banyan trees, I think they're called.
Yeah, I don't think so.
So I'm gonna look this up real quick just to make sure I got the name right. So Oh, it's Arukari Bidwili. It is a bunya tree. Let's see if I can get an image of its pine cone. But we used to have a couple of them downtown that they had to cut down because the pine cones would destroy cars.
God damn, dude.
Here, you can see this is not as big as they get. This is just a fairly large one.
Ooh, looks like a fucking pineapple.
Yeah.
Looks like a big pineapple. Holy shit! That looks like a fucking. That looks like a bee's nest, dude. A fucking hive, dude.
They used to have two of them downtown, and eventually they just had to get rid of them because they would, like here, like you're not talking about one or two, and they just fucking destroy cars and shit every so often. Like 3 or 4 of those cones and hit one.
Yeah, fuck yeah, dude. That's fucking insane.
God see like damn, how big the house is. They get real big, so you're thinking it's falling from quite a distance.
Yeah.
It actually does look like a pineapple with their little spikes coming off the edge. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, but that one's the size of a fucking, again, like a beehive or something.
Yeah.
And apparently, the other ones look like way bigger than that even.
Well, like pine nuts. Here's a bunya nuts. These are from the pine cones. The nuts you can do the same kind of nut.
Look like lima beans.
Yeah.
Fucking the size of lima beans. That's fucking awesome. Oh shit, it's bigger than that. Yeah.
That's that's just garlic. That's not. Is that garlic or the roasted bunya? I think that's just. Oh no, it's bunya nuts with kaffir lime and ginger dip.
Yeah.
But if you get to see some of those down when you're in the redwood forest and shit, those are kind of cool too.
Yeah. I think my mom and brother went on the thing. I don't think they went there, but they saw a bunch of the big ass trees up through Oregon and Washington.
Yeah.
Like apparently there's a big Sitka spruce tree somewhere up there that was ridiculously big. Again, just a bunch of trees that were just, again, way oversized. Not even redwoods or sequoias.
Oregon is unique, I guess, in that it's really good weather for some of those pine trees to just get massive.
Yeah.
You can get some of the redwood forests in California, some of the really big ones here too.
Yeah. Although, I've heard that some of those areas in Washington and maybe Oregon too, the rainforests are just not tropical.
Yeah, they are.
They actually get more rainfall than the tropical rainforests do.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they are rainforests. Absolutely.
Yeah, which I didn't know that for the longest time, that there were temperate, rainforests. Yeah.
Like in those forests up in like Oregon and Washington and stuff, you can survive fairly easily off of like stuff that grows, just like fruits and nuts and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think I remember hearing about a tree that was this massive tree that actually had like other trees growing out of its fucking branches and shit.
Like, well, there's one in like Russia that's all connected. That's like miles wide. And it's all like the same tree.
Aren't is it sequoias or trees? Sequoias or redwoods that are actually essentially clones, where it's a huge root system underneath and just different trees kind of pop up every so often, but it all has like the same root system.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's the same root system, but it's different trees popping up. Yeah, you got it right. Yeah. Dude, I am fucking out of it. God damn. No, not totally, but man, I'm exhausted. Jesus Christ. I actually cleaned my bathroom like really well for the first time in years. And I fucking put a lot of effort into it like I do when I actually do clean. And it's fucking wiping me out. Oh man, when everybody's sick and oh, here we go. Oh, this is hold on, this is not a tree. This is also kind of a cool thing in Oregon. It's 2.4 miles across, 8,650 years old, and it lives in Oregon. It's fungus.
All right.
And it's I don't see if it's showing pictures. It's essentially like it has a big root system that grows through like this whole forest.
Yeah.
This is the worst article ever. But I think there's also a forest in like Eastern Europe or Russia or somewhere around that area that's a similar thing.
Yeah. That's crazy.
I thought this was a funny little story. Up in Alaska, some councilman was trying to get this library cat out because the library got a cat to keep the pests down, like mice and rats and shit, because it's Alaska apparently.
Right.
And so some councilman was like, "Oh, I want to get rid of that because somebody couldn't bring their dog or some shit to the library," and apparently he didn't make it past that next election, and the cat is sitting pretty in the library.
Yeah, don't fuck with me. That's what I see in that cat's expression. It says, "Don't fuck with me, bitch."
Well, and it looks like the rest of the city council decided to put some rules into place so that the cat couldn't be ousted.
Nice. Ah, damn.
Oh, that was funny. Because, like, how do you get voted in and be like, oh, you know that town symbol that everybody knows and loves? Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah, I gotta get that out of there. Yeah, it's a dumbass, dude. Hey, Ekanaro's here. I just saw that.
Oh, hey, Ekanaro. I think he's been in for a while. He just hasn't been in the chat.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
Well, we kept getting 4 people, and usually if it's 4, it's William and Ekanaro.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't bring the dog to the libraries anyway most of the time. We'll see, in the U.S., we have this problem with this new set of rules. I'm not sure if it's in every state, but it is in California, where if it's a service animal, they have to let it in. Only they've decided that service animal also covers companion animals, and companion animals are not remotely trained at all.
Right.
So, like, a blind person seeing eye dog, or somebody who's crippled who has a dog that helps them get around, or does stuff for them. Those are usually extremely well trained. They're not going to go to the bathroom on the floor. They're not going to eat food off the grocery shelf.
Right.
They don't bother cats and stuff. Well, but these companion animals that people have that are claimed that they now have ruled to be service animals as well have none of that training. Like, we had a client that had a companion dog that would just shit all over the floor in the house.
God damn.
We have like that sort of school, institutional, hospital carpeting though. So it wouldn't get into the carpet. It'd just sit on top, but still.
Yeah, it's still fucking shit you shouldn't have to fucking deal with.
Yeah, it was pretty gross.
Yeah. So anyway, do you need some kind of documentation for the companion dog thing, or can you just claim it?
Nope, there's not like a vest. There's nothing. Nobody has to prove anything.
Yeah. They can't be surprised. That's getting abused. Shocking.
Oh yeah, people will just take their pets places now, and then it's my service animal. You can't tell me I can't bring it in.
Yeah.
I mean, the number of times I've seen somebody with like a fucking pug or something in their grocery cart at the Safeway is just grotesque.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't see a lot of that here, man.
It's my grocery store, my food, if it's not trained, like.
Yeah, no, you go to a PetSmart, like even that kind of bugs me, and that's, seeing dogs and shit, people bringing their dogs in there bugs me.
It does, it does, but it makes sense that they would let them in, but I don't like it.
Yeah, exactly. Especially when the dogs start barking at everything around them, dude.
Oh God, or fighting with other dogs.
Yeah. It's like, fuck you. Don't bring your dog in if he's not trained, it doesn't have any fucking discipline, dude.
I was going to get a crocodile companion animal. Oh man, I kind of want that to happen.
It don't bite. Yeah, it don't bite. It'll just swallow you whole, motherfucker. Yeah. I'm gonna get a hippo. I'm gonna get a pet hippo or a hippo companion animal.
What was it? I was saying on Twitter earlier, they should rename the Democrats to Hippocrats.
Nice.
It's such a lame joke. Like if we weren't exhausted, that wouldn't be nearly as good as it is.
That's not bad, dude. Well, I'll rethink it in the morning, but
Yeah,
it's still pretty
in
clever.
the morning I'll be like, oh man, that was pretty sad.
I'm gonna fucking cringe first thing, like, oh god. Yeah. But yeah, no, I didn't realize it for a while, but apparently hippos are high on the list of animals that kill people every year.
Oh yeah. Hippos are the most dangerous in Africa, man. They kill way more than anything else.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you seen them eating watermelons?
No.
Oh, I'm gonna look some footage of that up and I'll show it. I'm not really worried about it getting us in any kind of trouble.
Yeah,
it's too.
I can imagine. I'm gonna fucking just smash the fucking shit out of them. But yeah, I mean, they can literally open their jaw like 150 degrees or some shit, like some insane amount, and just snap down on something.
Yep. Oh yeah, it's intense.
Yeah.
All right, you can see that.
Right.
We don't need any sound for that. We'll just fit the whole fucking thing in its mouth.
No problem, dude.
It's a little
look at that, dude. Yeah, they look kind of pathetic and fat and pathetic, and they will fuck your ass up, dude. Look how big that fucking mouth is, dude.
Yep.
God damn, dude. They got the tiny little eyes. Like, they look almost harmless, and they could potentially swallow you whole, dude.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They wouldn't have to. They'll just kill you.
Yeah,
there's a great video of there's a bunch of hippos just chilling in the water together, like in this giant group, and somewhere in Africa. And this fucking alligator swims up to the surface in the middle, and they just tear it apart.
Yeah, they're fucking badass, dude.
And you can see the alligator is like, oh shit, like. There's that moment of like, oh, this is not going to end well for me, right before like it's all over.
Yeah, god damn, dude. Yeah, no, it's insane, man. How fucking powerful they can fuck shit up, dude. Yeah. Chomp, just fucking crushing that shit. That's your fucking head right there. Bam, gone.
Oh man, just intense.
Yeah.
I love that. I can't get enough of that for some reason. Yeah. I don't know what.
No, I was with you, dude. I was watching it like every time. I was like, holy shit, that's still interesting.
It's about the end of that one. Oh, he says, our most dangerous animal on earth is ex-girlfriend with her fucked up friends that look like junkies. Well, I can know. Is that because you date 12-year-olds though? Because I'm a little concerned about you at times, brother.
Yeah, they're really, really emotional at that age, dude.
Yeah. Jesus.
Yeah, they don't always get all that much
geese
better.
Are mean as fuck. Geese will fucking break your arm with their fucking wings and shit. They're pretty tough.
No shit. I never had one like that.
They can. Oh no, I'm not saying they will, but they can. Like geese and swans can really fuck you up.
Yeah, like if they actually feel threatened and shit, they'll fucking come after you.
She was 13. I'm not a pedophile.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm not going to touch that. Not going to touch that one at all.
Yeah.
Oh, have you seen this one going around Twitter? This article. This is a funny one. I thought something just kind of light. Sorry, white people, but trying too hard not to be racist is low-key kind of racist.
Yeah, of course. No matter what you do. No matter what you fucking do.
It's so fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
This is babe.net, so I'm sure it's some real fucking obscure feminist nonsense. But
right.
Let's see. Don't get me wrong. It's great that white people care about racism now. That's nice for them. And it's totally sick to hear white guys tell me that they're into brown girls too when they try to get into my pants. And even though ending racism can seem like an impossible dream in a world where Nazis are a thing again.
Shut the fuck.
And everyone expects me to care about anything related to Bella Thorne. I don't know who Bella Thorne is.
Either do I.
I'm assuming some sort of actress or singer or something like that, or maybe a politician. Who knows? At least diversity is a stated goal now. Let's see.
How many people really fucking said
it's about the I don't see
girls
Kelly
now?
thing.
I honestly don't think there's that many people that are actually saying that out loud to any women. Hey, I'm into brown girls too. I don't think any dudes are saying that. Maybe I'm naive.
It's all pink in the stink. No, I'm sorry,
dude.
The only color I see is pink, baby.
But seriously, I seriously doubt that bitch has ever heard any guy fucking tell her that shit.
No, I'm sure it's never happened. Things that never occurred. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
There's something wrong with this picture
that I made up in my head that never happened.
So apparently this picture, there's something wrong with it. A bunch of dudes and a chick in what clearly looks like a, what do you call it?
A rap video?
I was going to say like a promotional picture, like something you're doing, like you take pictures to promote your stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not going through the video because I don't fucking care. So apparently if you're talking to a black audience and you start to use the slang that they know, you're racist.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, this is all the same old BS. Okay, I thought this might be more entertaining. But it's like the same old, like, it's cultural appropriation. You don't see color. It's racist not to see color. That kind of, nonsense.
Yeah, it's bullshit, dude. That's fucking ridiculous. Yeah. Yeah, and why are Nazis a thing nowadays? Because you fucking created some weird boogeymen of Nazis that aren't Nazis?
Well, there are no... I mean, there's the...
Yeah.
There's the whatchamajigger, the neo-Nazis, but you're talking about like a ridiculously small percentage of people. It's not like you're talking about.
Yeah, and I think it was a while back, but I think Base Mama made a good point that, like, dude, you're gonna make Nazi a good thing. Like, the people that you're calling Nazis are actually decent people. You know, that want shit like free speech and that kind of shit. Like, you're going to make it where Nazis is going to be a good thing. Like, stop it. Like, fucking shit up.
Well, like, I don't want mass Islamic immigration because I don't want people that just rape women and fucking kill gay people coming to my country en masse who hate my country.
Shut up, you fucking Nazi.
And that's considered Nazism, and it's like, that's not, it's not.
Yeah, not at all.
It's not even like hate or a racist or a bigoted thing. Like, I just don't want them here. Like, they can fuck their own country up all they want.
Right.
But I don't accept that it's okay for them to come here and fuck up my country because I'm part of the people that live here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, it's getting ridiculous. And again, like I said, I'm really glad Trump got elected because it is a little bit of pushback. Well, huge pushback, really. And these fuckers are still continuing on with this bullshit. Like, don't you realize most people, not even just white people, most people are rejecting this bullshit that you guys are putting out. You know,
or just don't even know because it's all on the internet. Some of it's not all of it. Some of it just stays on the internet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but again, I mean, within a pretty short amount of time, like there's plenty of old people that don't give a shit about the internet or don't bother to research shit or whatever. You know, like they're kind of fooled, but every year that goes by, we're becoming incredibly more tech savvy every fucking year with, again, people getting older and dying that weren't tech savvy at all.
I've seen of like 12, 13-year-old kids doing like teardowns of like the feminist stuff.
Yeah,
like
it's really encouraging.
Feminist, like things that they're teaching in schools and shit. They're like, this is ridiculous. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, no, it's a lot of pushback. Actually, you know what, my son, this was a while back, but just out of the blue, and let me preface this with, I really try to not influence my son overly much. Like, I want him to make his own way as much as possible, make up his own mind about shit as much as possible. So I try not to influence him with any of my bullshit, even if I think I'm right. It doesn't matter. So anyways, a while back, all of a sudden he was just like, these liberals are just insane, right? Like, what's wrong with these people? You know, like out of the blue, and I'm like, I can't really. I don't want to say too much here, but yeah, pretty much. And here's the thing: I never say liberal. I'll say fucking, or rarely, I should say. So like, I was like, oh fuck, what did I do? What did I fucking say to influence them like that? But I'm like, I never say liberal. I fucking say leftist, fucking libtard, you know, shit like that. But even then, I try not to say, you know, I don't really say any of that in his presence. You know, for him to say that, I'm like, you know what? There's hope. The generations coming up are realizing how ridiculous that shit is.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
First, then there's Akira shared this. I have to share.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of on the same thing. Sometimes hope is disturbing too. He was defending himself because he was dating a 13-year-old.
Okay.
You know, right. You admit that's pretty fucking creepy. Or did I not share all the way? I didn't share.
I haven't seen anything yet.
I'm a dummy. My bad. I made sure to click his link when I was off screen share, definitely, just to be careful because some of the stuff you
that is pretty fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's disturbing. I'm like, I give you points, man. I can't argue.
Yeesh.
Little concern.
Tough, because there are a lot of girls that want to act grown up way before they're grown up.
Oh man, I've been to a couple of really crazy parties where like me and my friends were like clearly too old to be there. Like we didn't know in advance that we were going to like a high school party.
Oh, gotcha.
You know, so like 21, 22 years old. You still kind of know some people who are maybe young enough that they might think it'd be fun to go to that party, and you're like, oh, okay, well, now that I'm here and I'm fucking hanging out with 12-year-olds, they're not 12, right. They just seem like it because you're so much older. You're so much older at 21.
Yeah, 14 and 15-year-olds, 16-year-olds, you know, if you're in their early 20s, seem pretty goddamn young.
But I'm sitting there with my friends. We kind of like off to like one of the less populated corners of the party, and I'm talking to them. I'm like, "Look, man, we are too old for this shit. Like, we should probably take off.
We need to get the fuck out.
These kids they're cool and all, but they're just like high school kids. We really don't want to be here being like 23, 24 years old. And this like 14-year-old girl had to be at least 14, maybe 13.
Mm-hmm.
The way that we came over, I was like, yeah, I know. Everybody looks they're so young, you know. Like, and you can't laugh at her,
right.
Even though like you can tell what's going on because you don't want her to feel like shit. That's not cool. But you're obviously, you got to be like real gentle and.
Yeah, you got to be firm but gentle somehow.
Yeah, exactly.
Be like, establish the boundaries without like fucking making her feel like shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Don't want her to think that one of us is going to end up like dating her or something or making out with her in the corner.
All right.
Because that shit ain't happening.
Right. Damn.
It's like in one of them, like we were hanging out for maybe 15 minutes, and then the girl whose party it was came out with her mom. And they were like, look, if somebody else gets dosed with LSD, this party is over.
God damn, dude.
Because some dude had been dosed. Like, I guess somebody went fishing. Where they just put a little LSD in a cup that was sitting there, hoping it was, I'm guessing they were hoping it was a girl's cup or something, maybe.
That's a fucked up thing to do.
Or they just did it because they thought it was funny, I don't know, fucking high school kids.
Yeah, that's
a sociopaths at that age anyway, so, I mean.
Yeah, I don't think I could have ever done that, though.
No,
Jesus Christ.
I don't think I could have either. It's not funny. I mean, like, obviously.
No, that's a fucking horrible thing to do.
Disturbing.
Like, LSD is not the easiest thing to handle when you know it's coming, dude.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think in this case, the dude had done it before.
Oh, all right.
And that's how they knew what it was. Because, like, he'd done it before, and he was like, look, somebody slipped me some fucking LSD. I'm going to have to go lay down in your guest room for a while.
Right. And please don't bother me for at least 12 hours. So I'm going to be freaking out in there.
Yeah, exactly.
Although, he didn't do bad to at least explain himself. So, well, it must have been early on in the trip. He wasn't peeking or whatever.
Yeah, and maybe he'll be fine, but I'm sure he was fine. We left shortly thereafter.
Right.
I took the shit out of some dude's truck because he was an idiot with gravel, though.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Well, they fucking okay. So it was way out in the fucking boondocks, like way out in the fucking woods and shit. So like they were like down this long ass dirt road, like a mile from the nearest neighbor, and so basically they just had everybody park off in the fields, but the fields were still kind of soft from like the winter rains.
Right.
And I didn't have a 4-wheel drive truck, so like, and I was spinning the tires, digging down, hoping to get some sort of purchase to get moving, so we could get all the way back to the fucking road.
Right.
And that involved just spraying the shit out of this truck in front of us that parked way too close with gravel and mud.
Yeah.
And not looking back on our way.
Right. Oh, damn. Yeah.
Like, I feel bad, but at the same time, you really shouldn't have parked that close.
Yeah. Yeah, and this whole giant field. Why'd you got to be that close?
And you'll never know who it was. So I'm not worried about it.
Oh, damn.
It was a nice truck. Was being the operative word there.
Right. Now all the fucking shit's smashed in from all the the mud and gravel that you just sprayed onto it.
We definitely scratched the paint in multiple places.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, you're talking half the last joint of your pinky finger size gravel.
God damn, dude.
Yeah, so a little bit bigger than pea size, like the next level up. So that was funny. Yay for stupid parties.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the good old days, the crazy youth.
There were some parties I went to that I enjoyed, but by and large, I'm not really a big, crazy, drunken party guy. It's not my thing.
All right. I did it for a little while. Wasn't too bad.
Yeah, it's fun for a little while, but after a while, you just kind of like, I'm not really getting to know people, and it's just, sometimes you get laid, sometimes you don't, but
right.
It's just, after a while, it's like, I don't want the fucking hangover. I don't want to deal with the stupid people.
Right. Yeah. Well, see, I usually had, like I said, I was really lucky with my group of friends. Like, we would always have a good time regardless of whatever the fuck else was going on around us, Mm-hmm. So that helps a lot,
Oh, yeah, what's like going to bars? Like, I don't know if you ever did the bar thing, but
not a lot.
Bars are only as fun as the people you go with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because you can never guarantee what the crowd will be like at a bar. Some bars have great crowds. Sometimes they don't. But if you always go with a group of friends that you like, you'll have a good time because you're hanging out with your buddies. It's just the way it works. Mm-hmm. Unless you go to the wrong bar and there's a lot of real nasty characters there, and then you really want to leave quick, but not before you have at least one beer, or then people get offended. And shit just doesn't work out well.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty rare. Like, well, in my town, I mean, the town's small enough that those bars and the character of the bars is really well established. So you know where you shouldn't be.
When you're 21 and you're in San Francisco and you don't know what the fuck you're doing, you can end up at a biker bar real easy.
Right.
And you may not be the best. It may not be the best place to hang out, but you got to be at least respectful and have a beer or two before you take off.
Yeah. You can't just make a run for the door.
Yeah, no, they don't like that.
Yeah.
Of course, then again, I knew some people that probably it wouldn't have been a big deal anyway, but I wasn't gonna. Yeah, never mind. Anyway, well, I thought this was cute. The Southern Poverty Law Center says Antifa isn't a hate group.
Mm-hmm. They've been labeled a terrorist group, but they're not a hate group.
Yep, that's what I was thinking too. I'm like, well, they are terrorists.
Yeah.
According to the actual government, finally.
Dude, the Southern Poverty Law Center has become a real fucking joke now, dude.
Well, to me, it's almost like the pot saying the kettle isn't black.
Right.
If that makes sense. It's just like,
yeah.
This hate group says this other hate group isn't a hate group.
Right.
Congrats, I guess.
You guys can endorse each other. Now Antifa come out and say that the SPLC isn't a hate group.
I'll say they condemn their tactics, but pardon me. But Antifa is not a group that vilifies people on the basis of race, ethnicity, religion, and like. Yes, they do.
Yeah, they really do.
They hate white people. It's pretty fucking clear.
Yeah. Yeah, even the white people in Antifa hate white people. They hate themselves.
And they're really not
others.
fond of any kind of Christian.
Right. Or capitalist.
Capitalist, Jew, Christian, those are not people they're okay with.
Yeah, yeah. Yep. Anyone that's not a Marxist fucking communist, dude. They're the enemy. Yeah.
Yeah, it literally, this is like a hate group saying that the other hate group isn't a hate group.
Right.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, it's nuts. Dude, I'm really hitting the wall here, dude.
I figured that was probably the last one. I wanted to go out on like a silly story.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Like I said, I'm completely worn out today from doing all this fucking cleaning like this. So, yeah,
we've been going for like 2 hours, 2.5 hours. It's not like we fucking are cutting it like short for our like two fans.
Yeah, that's true. We usually go at least 3, so yeah, but still, well, no, whatever. We're doing all right.
Yeah, we're good.
Cool.
Thank you guys for joining us for this Chatterbox 48. Too bad Engelhardt. No way make another 2 hours. No, I'm sorry, man. I can't go that far.
Not today. Normally, I can go, but yeah, I did too much shit today. I gotta get to sleep.
Think about the kids in Africa. All right, well, it's Engelhardt unfortunately could make it. He was sick. So this is Stabby and Day Twa Qua signing off.
Yep. Bye-bye.